this morning.
The thing about it, right? It's not a Monday. Sometimes you just want to meet up with the day itself, not necessarily. You have a schedule. Again, I have a schedule. The fact I'm going to school.
I know, my brother.
The fact I'm going to school this morning is a schedule. No, I thought I'm going to read it this morning. This is a
I'm
schedule.
talking about after the show.
No, after the-
The quote reminds me of Mr. Ezana Kumi.
man.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
know, that was when Mr. Ezana Kumi used
you
to
know,
go
you
for
know, you know, you know,
the CPP press
yes,
conference.
let me just share the fact, he was trying to get back. He decided to share something. Yeah, I like it. I go one day, but it's fun. It's just on a Monday.
Yeah, it's good to be here this morning. We have a range of issues to talk about. If you are just joining us, those that follow us through the live stream, that's Punch FM or Punch TV. Welcome to the Punch Breakfast Show. Harris is Billy and I'm Black Camera. I'm pretty seated here for you this morning. Like we said, today is Monday. It's the 20th day of May 2024. We have a range of issues to look at this morning. From now up until 8 o'clock, we place the CDC on the microscope this week. Before we do that, we will acknowledge on Friday we hosted a program here calling top officials from the United Party to see the, have to reach out to some of their food studios, most especially DJ Lomé is in uh, uh, I understand that few of some of the top officials reached out to him and they even supported him financially. We need to recognize that. Like we say here, when you do the good thing, talk about it. If you do the bad thing, we just start you here on the platform. So I want to say thank kudos to Mohammed Ali, Patrick Warner, and other folks that reached out to DJ Lomé, and he's seeking treatment now. So we just pray for speedy recovery, Harris.
Yeah, indeed. Someone managed to say, what has someone the focus of the million hospital.
Mm.
It's not but is what your time is only is something. And that thing is and as you move along, you need you need a support of 2 weeks ago or 2 weeks before. It is important to work out. This is a situation with Stephen Obel as he's famously going. This is a gentleman that was able to wake up in the morning after called a lot of times in the campaign. He was almost Harris, but they are really it. Or when he's there, so the image of the walker, it's almost taking the respect. And so it's just a individual at this time in need of the topic. And we think that on the island. But the party was from that basis that was all on the list. What is right from the angle because he's a partisan. Because if we want to limit to if we want to bring the conversation to the government, then someone will say, but then the government will cater to every single individual because it covers everyone. But from the angle of the party, for the party to work in your favor, you have to be a partisan of the party.
Yeah.
And so it is on that basis that we call at the time we on Friday we stress on we encourage party officials to take the lead and see DJ Lamel and see the news we see some of those officials step in, not just as meeting with him, but they also contributed financially. And this is why at times leaders are overwhelmed work with several issues, other schedules and everything.
Yeah.
So when we identify an urgent need for their intervention to bring it forth. It is expected on those leaders that they will take upon the initiative. And so those leaders that went on to see DJ Lomel, we say kudos to you. And for those of you having had a time, I think it is better late than never that you go out, you reach out to him, especially at the time he needs you the most.
Okay, so let me just read out this because it is important. Like we said, once you do something commendable, we commend you here. So this is from the Boakai think tank. He was part of or he's part of the Boakai think tank. So it says the Boakai Kun's think tank wants to appreciate Senator Abraham Darros Dillon, Amos D. Tue, Noah Gibson, Eber Plaki, Patrick Horner for their contribution towards the illness of our vice chair in Anthony Jala, aka DJ Lome. Our vice chair is seriously sick and he's currently seeking treatment as of the country. We are calling on all well-meaning Liberians to come to the aid of our friend and brother. We call on the Unity Party and this government to please pay serious attention to our sick brother. We pray that the healing hands of God will rest upon our brother who is currently ill. So that's coming from the chair of the Boakai think tank. So we just thought it was in flagging that this morning. We wishing a speedy recovery. Harris, there's this issue about rice. The importation of rice. I don't know if you want us to take that from 8 to 9.
Yeah, I'm going to look at the rice issue, Boakai, because it is a matter of concern. So I think at 8 o'clock, as per our lineup, at 8 o'clock is what we're going to look at sufficiently on the issue of the rice. The current conversation, that's how I love to call it, the conversation that's ongoing now with importers and that of the government as well.
Okay, so last week on Friday, before leaving for our regular weekend break, we hosted a show here wherein we just seen officials of the ruling Unity Party on the issue about their food soldiers, how they are trying to forget them so soon, and after that, some of them reached out to some of the soldiers that were complaining, and they will be having some meeting, I think on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. And the outcome from that meeting, we will let the public know, because we are here to straighten things. This is the Punch FM. It's not, I like the fact that I like the fact that Mr. Horner is no longer in the employ of this institution. So the last time when we were talking, there's somebody call and say, your boss man, we needed to let him know that Mr. Horner is no longer in the employ of this particular institution, which is Punch FM. So the last time we were talking, we included him because they may not hear, they may not. And here on the show, nobody can hold our tongue. We say it as it is. That's why we talk to everybody this gone Friday. And this morning, we'll be putting the CDC under the spotlight. Harris, since the CDC lost the election, there's this statement in our group chat. I want for you to read it. Just go through that statement because it is strong. And from that statement, we will make sense of the discussion this morning on this issue about the CDC. As soon as the CDC lost the election, we have started going out of control within the CDC. The last time we saw the NPP walking away from the CDC, we saw the LPDP walking away from the CDC, and those parties were the one behind CDC and even helped them to win the elections. if they are walking away at about this time. So we want to know how what's happening within the CDC.
Yeah.
And that statement, Harry, you ready for it?
I'm trying to get it. Let's just go on.
Yes.
I
So
want to lay my
we
hands on it. You know, it's
we
a very powerful.
it's a powerful piece from a
Mm.
partisan of the
Mm.
CDC.
Okay, so I have it right here. I'm going to read this completely.
Mhm.
We're going to reserve the name of this person
Yeah.
because they reached out to us with this. It says, "My heart bleeds as I pen down these words. I could, but I have to. This is the truth. It hurts, but at last the truth heals a broken soul,
Mm.
replaces open wounds, and repairs broken hearts. It has been over 6 to 7 months since the Coalition for Democratic Change lost the election to the Unity Party, and over 4 to 5 months since the CDC transitioned power to the Unity Party, which took over on January 22, 2024 at precisely 12 p.m. The setback at the polls was unforeseen, leaving CDC partisans and the Republic in shock. Despite winning overwhelmingly in the first round, the CDC did not secure the percentage needed for victory and was defeated by the Unity Party in the second round by a margin of fewer than 17,000 votes. This result shocked many Liberians, but it is what it is. The defeat was caused by the carelessness, recklessness, and greed of some party hierarchies and officials who misused campaign funds, investing in themselves and their families rather than the people. They assumed that CDC would win the second round, relying on George Weah's popularity instead of campaigning vigorously as they had in the first round. This complacency and greed led the CDC's defeat, leaving the party and its surrogates in shock. Nevertheless, despite some complaints, President George Weah called that was then
Mhm.
called his rival Buakai to congratulate him even before the final results were announced by the National Elections Commission. The CDC's 6 years of ruling were intensive marred by propaganda, lies, deception, and internal conflicts,
Mm.
which brought serious setbacks before the elections. When President Weah took over, he formed an inclusive government that did not discriminate based on political party,
Mm.
religious background, or country. However, the inclusiveness became a major cause of his government's defeat, as those he elected often turned into moles or spies,
Mm.
leaking information to the opposition. Despite these betrayals, Weah kept them in his administration for 6 years. Many in sedition were left shocked by the electoral setback, and some are still in shock today. After the transition, the party has been left in disarray, scattered by the unforeseen defeat at the polls, with partisans and Liberians disillusioned by the reckless officials who failed to protect votes.
Mm.
The CDC has been left vulnerable, lacking proper opposition strategies like effective propaganda and political struggle. The party has grown weak, almost lifeless. A planned retreat, teamed setback to comeback, aimed to rally partisans after the major electoral setback, but it was unexpectedly cancelled, leaving many surprised and disheartened. Meanwhile, the CDC watches the broadcast government recklessly disobey the rule of law, arbitrarily removing people from tenured positions and failing to deliver on its 100-day promises. All through the CDC has issued counterclaims and labeled the government as failed.
Mm.
It hasn't invested in proper studio time to effectively communicate this message to the masses. The CDC needs to make its propaganda more proactive. Figures like Foley and Massaquoi, the secretary of the CDC COP, are doing well, taking the government single-handedly. Massaquoi, who supported the CDC government without being on the payroll, remains committed and continues to tackle the government vigorously. In contrast, those who earned luxurious salaries at Umpos still recovering from their setbacks. The CDC will only make a comeback in 2029 if it starts preparing now by aggressively opposing Walker and his administration. Men are ready to safeguard the CDC, but the party must be willing to safeguard itself. And he went on to say, long live the mighty coalition for democratic change, long live the fighting spirit of its militants, long live the undiluted spirit of democracy.
Now, away from that message, folks, most especially the issue about studio time. Let me just say this, folks. You know, we have tried our best on this platform to give the space to everybody to air their view on this particular platform, the Punch Breakfast Show. And I have reached out to several citizens, most especially top hierarchies within the CDC, to make an appearance here and, you know, just come and just talk about brainy issues. You know, if you have a problem with this government and you know that the government isn't doing well, we are giving you the airtime. But citizens have failed to reach, to accept that, oh, I will go and appear on a Punch Breakfast Show. I will go back. Have reached out to me several times, Harris. And I'm saying this based on the statement coming from a diehard citizen. The CDC, as my brother stated in his post, if the CDC will want to unseat this government, their propaganda arm should be very strong. What the Unity Party did was that they fought hard and fought the CDC when they were in government, on the internet, radio wise. They used to reach out to media institution. They were, you know, they just used to make sure that their propaganda arm reached out to every sector, Harris. But is the CDC doing that? Absolutely not. The CDC isn't doing that because from the look of things, the Unity Party is relaxed. The Unity Party is totally relaxed in a sense that the lack of Akaros Moses Gray. Akaros Moses Gray told us that he was conducting a protest here on April 26th. How far did that protest go? How far? There was no protest held. Now we are in May. And then Akaros Moses Gray, can you hear Akaros Moses Gray again? Absolutely not. The only person that used to be on the back of the government is who represented Yeke Koluba. But Yeke Koluba is now sick. You can hear the voice of Yeke Koluba, who's there now to push or fight the Unity Party when it comes to propaganda wars from the opposition background. Absolutely nobody. The lack of Carrasco, you just get us soon when he will not beating and do just post on a Facebook page. Lack of Mariah Yakula there and other people, even within the Alternative National Congress, where are they? You get any of them? So it means that this is a free ride. And the CDC, Harris, things will be hard for them. As we head to the 2029 elections, it will be a tough ride for the CDC. And they have to prepare themselves now. The sooner the better. They're walking away from the coalition, which is the MPP, have left a huge gap within the CDC. I can always say this. They're walking away from the CDC, the LDP, Moses Cody and other people have left a big gap within the CDC. Before, who do you think will come there to fill in that gap, Mr. Alexander Kumis? Can Mr. Alexander Kumis settle down for being a vice presidential candidate to Mr. George Weah? If Mr. Alexander Kumis just go about doing that, I will know that he's not ready for politics in Liberia here. If Mr. Alexander Kumis just accept that he wants to become a vice presidential to Mr. Josh Weah, they will know that Mr. Kumis isn't ready yet. So if I see the lack of Mr. Alexander Kumis going to or leaning towards the CDC, I think something is happening, Harris.
Yeah, Buck, and I want to agree with you, but There are a few things as well I want us to consider, especially when we have the discussion about the CDC and we want to bring on the scenario of Cummins. You see, Cummins, I want to believe if there are possibilities that Cummins will want to settle for a vice presidential slot within the CDC, it is possible. It is something that you cannot rule out. Now, the reason I say so is that since post-war Liberia, that's after we left the Civil War, Liberia is gradually transforming into a two-party system. And over the last time since the end of the Civil War, we have had at least different elections. The election of 2005, 2011, 2017, and elections of 2023. And the 4 different elections have been characterized by two-party systems. It's either the CDC or the Unity Party. Now, if the 2029 election proves the same, that either the CDC or the Unity Party emerges victorious in the elections, then it presents a picture that Liberia has transitioned to a two-party system. Now we have multi-party system. Now, don't get me wrong. We have several political parties contesting elections, but to be part of the winning team, predictably, you have to be either from the CDC or the Unity Party. So if you have a character like Cummins, will understand from that perspective, then Cummins will want to place himself on the winning side. The winning side is now predicted that it will be Unity Party or be CDC, but it is likely that it will be one of the two parties. So now Cummins will be looking to the Unity Party. Several characters within the Unity Party have understood that Cummins is not that person, is not that force to reckon with. Cummins is not the person to have that solidified relationship with political wise, right? Politically now. So they will now want to give him that environment. Part of that as well, Kun now will be opting for the presidency by then. Because President Boakai will already be, retiring. And it is only Kun that he has, nurtured over the years to continue on what he started in terms of maybe building integrity, upholding the rule of law, fighting corruption, all of these things. If Kun will be that student that is willing to learn, right, and from President Boakai, I want to believe that President Boakai will be confident with Kun. So in that situation, you will not want to, Kun will not be seeing Cummins as an option to him. Kun will be looking for someone that has the number as well to join. So it is also possible that the vice president in 2029 will come for Lofa. It is possible, or most rather, because they will be looking now for a person that has the numbers, right? Coming in Liberian politics, Cummins is there to identify his constituents, and this is one of the areas that Cummins is feeling. No politician functions effectively when you don't have a constituent. Especially when you are at the level of the presidency, right? President Boakai has a constituent. That's Lofa. That's Lofa. VP Kun has a constituent. That's Nima. Dumbly Kanga Lauren has a constituent. That's Grandbassa. You want to go on as well. Sir Joseph, for instance, has that's Moserado. So every political figure will struggle to have a constituent. Cummins is still struggling to identify his constituent. But not just having it, but even to identify. So a character like that in 2029, in an event that the Unity Party is looking for a vice president to go with Kun, if Kun is to go on their ticket, they will now be considering Cummins as an option. So in that case, Cummins will want to go to the already crippled CDC, right? Because the CDC now at that level will be empty. At that level will be like the what to call in our in our common setting, they call it hey chicken. Right? Anywhere you turn it away will go. That's how the CDC will be in 2029. So like that, anyone that pull away by the nose, they'll be waiting to follow. The CDC will be so desperate that they will be, it will be, the party will be waiting for less, even something that is devalued to it. That's how it will be. And so in that instance, you'll find Cummins going. Now, Cummins going there, if George will still be ambitious, right, for the presidency in 2029, obviously, because of the people's mandate and Cummins' consideration that George Weah will win 2029 based on popularity, then Cummins will want to set as a vice president to him. Perhaps that's how the math will work. Again, they could collaborate, which of course I welcomed that the ANC could collaborate with the CDC, not necessarily that because Cummins want to go as vice president or president to George Weah, whatever the case is. It's because we need a robust and effective opposition. Now, when we have a robust opposition, what will happen is that it will challenge the Unity Party government to do more than what they are doing. Now, but if you have an environment of complacency, right? No one is challenging the status quo. The functions, the workings of President Boakai, then what will happen is that the president relax. The president sits comfortably because he's looking to, the feedbacks he's receiving. No one is criticizing him.
Absolutely.
No one is saying the opposite of what he's doing and all of these things. And this draws me to the communication we just read. Now, it is the aspiration, it is the hope, it is the vision of those seditionists. Boakai, I tell you this morning, that there are hundreds of thousands of men and women, youthful Liberians that are waiting to continue to lay down their lives in defense of the party, the CDC. I know hundreds of thousands of them that are waiting, that are capable, that are willing to stand in a position and defend the party, even if there's no reason to defend the CDC. They are willing to create artificial reasons to defend the CDC. But you know what is happening? They need the support of the party. They need the support of the hierarchies of the party. Now, you cannot be a sedition, or so to speak, an ordinary sedition, which means you don't have a position in the party. But you have identified that these are things that the Boakai administration is doing that is not right. Right? You have sufficient of evidence. You want to provide. You want to counter the government on things the government have said that this is what they are doing, things that they have done, of which of course you know that it is lie. But to do that, you need the support of the party, right? Now the support of the party is the moral support, right? Is having the leaders of the party guarding you, and that's why we're coming to say that the CDC has lost those men that are waiting to direct, to teach the younger folks. Right? If it was under the chairmanship of Molu, right? And things are happening, it would be very instrumental to empower the young folks, right? To counter, because they will have pieces of evidence with them, right? As per their findings, using that to remind Liberians that this is what the president has said. Boakai, let me tell you this. If we had a robust opposition, an opposition that means business for this country, an opposition that is willing, that is capable to see that the good things of this, good things happen in this country, whether it is done by President Boakai or not. That 100 days deliverable, that 100 days, storytelling that the president did. Now, I said storytelling because it is the story of something where you explain to someone, right? And the president has a determination to accept or not. Listen, if we had a very robust opposition, they were taking the debate. That's what with the government. That debate should have started from. The opposition was taking a debate with the government. Because this is a government that came out and set out an agenda that at the climax of the 100 days, these are things we will do, these are things we will venture into. And so when the 100-day ends, you want to evaluate. Now the government will present their report, which of course the government did. And it is now the part of the government, because the government was responsible to present to the people, to the Liberian people, that this is what we have done over the 100 days period. Right? It is with the opposition now to look through the government 100 days and say, Mr. President, you said you did this, but we are seeing this is not what is it, right? Mr. President, you said you have done this at the climax of the 100 days, but this is not it. We're not saying these things, right? Then it becomes a conversation. Then that you remind the president, you remind the government that moving forward, what the government will put out, things will present to the people will be in conformity with the promises they made. So if you're looking at, listen, the Civil Society Organization, NAMOD, right, made it easy. They said President Boakai scored 10%.
10%.
Right, of the promises he made in the first 100 days.
Mm.
Now, so if you're having an opposition thinking about what to say, or perhaps developing a very unique point to come up with to counter the government, and then you're having a civil society helping you in that direction,
Yeah.
then it becomes a conversation. What kind I can recall sometimes in 2022, 2023, when NAMO came up with the presidential meetup project.
Yeah.
Report.
Yeah.
That report was used and they further helped the Unity Party. Right? Because the Unity Party understood that a significant way, right? One of the important and meaningful way you can get to the Liberian people so easily is by telling them, if you say that George Weah is not doing anything at the time, right? Because George Weah had a conversation about free WAS fee, right? So about building hospitals and also building roads. That was a conversation that you asked. I'm saying if you ask every citizen at the time, that's what they will tell you. So if you will have an opposition to counter the government, you will need sufficient information. To get that, you will have a team, your strategist, right? They will have to strategize the different messages. They will design the different messages. On top of that as well, the government, the opposition at the time were dependent on the civil society organization. So when NAMO came out of that report, it helped the Unity Party significantly to use that. Today we see through the CDC. The CDC is like a toothless bulldog. The CDC is like, an empty vessel sailing right on the sea. That is an empty vessel sailing on the sea, that is capable of crashing at any point in time. That is capable of sinking at any point in time. That's how the CDC is currently. If you look through the CDC, you see the party is running out of men. Now, when we say the party is running out of men, the party is running out of men that are willing, people that are selfless, those that are willing to lay down their lives in defense of the party. Those who will see are individuals that are working their ways to solidify their relationship with the current administration. This is what it is. So when you look at the likes of Akaros Gray, Akaros Gray currently, as we speak, is playing the double dipping game, right?
Yeah.
Akaros Gray count 1 million on the radio. I know for the past 2 days when he returned from Cape Town, he went to other radio stations. He said some things. About the government, everything. The following day, you see Akaros Gray whining and downing with the officials of the CDC. Now, someone want to argue that
the official of the Unity Party
of the Unity Party. So someone want to argue that that's not how it was on the CDC time. On the CDC time, CDC had an environment. What you know what happened? On the CDC time, CDC had environment for an opposition collaboration. If you want to disagree, look at CDC had 9 different opposition parties that came to join them.
Yeah.
So it tells you that CDC had an environment for a favorable collaboration. But you know what was happening? Because the guys in the Unity Party needed trust. They needed confidence. So that when Mo Ali speaks, it represents the interest of everyone.
Yeah.
When Patrick Honda will speak, it represents the interest of everyone. When Amos will speak, it will represent the interest of everyone. When Robert Pala will speak, it represents the interest of everyone. To do that, then you have to, in as much as possible, you have the environment to collaborate with folks on the CDC. You don't want to go that route because your association could thwart the message, the central message of everyone.
Okay.
So because of that, the guys reserved themselves. It's not that the guys on the CDC were not providing environment, but because they needed to continue to maintain the populace confidence.
Yeah.
Because it would have been a disservice if the diehard Unity Party partisans will see folks that Mo Ali, Patrick Honda, and Wani, Daniel Akaros Green at the time they were in authority. It would have been a disservice to the masses, to
the supporters,
to those that are willing to lay down the lives for the Unity Party.
Yeah.
Right? So the guys, as much as possible. Again, you will say they had a time to call each other personally. Yeah, that's different. But in open space, they maintain that environment. It is hard because when you reach certain standard, you make friends. You have the ability to collaborate with people from diverse political backgrounds. But even to that point, the guys maintained. They never one day associate themselves with the guys from the CDC. Then someone will say, the folk from the CDC will not provide an environment. That's lie. So now the guys in the Unity Party already, from the angle of the Unity Party, already in authority. So they have understood that a way to reduce the public confidence in characters like Akaros Gray, right, is to bring them closer. and start to put money in her pocket and start to getting food to eat. Start to getting food
I can't understand him, money.
and start to getting liquor to drink, kind of stuff. So when you start to do it that way, when the seditions, right, the ordinary sedition, the man that is still bitter because President Boakai is president, the man that is still bitter that George Weah lost the election. When he walks on the street and see those that should stand their ground for them, the folks that are they are whining and dining with folks on the Unity Party. Then the man is considering. Then what's the near me being better? What's the near me being hatred? So it shows that they just sit back and wait. So the guys, I'm saying that guy is sitting back, right, and waiting. Then the 100 days deliverables is out. Then he took to a Facebook page, seeing Akaros Gray, waiting for Akaros Gray rejoiner to the 100 days. He's not seeing anything. He switches on to Koji, waiting for Koji 100 days. I'm saying Koji rejoiner to the 100 days. He's not seeing anything. He switches on to Emmanuel Johnson. He's not seeing anything. So then he's like, but I think President Boakai is doing good. So as a citizen, I need to support the president. So the Unity Party is working smartly, right? Penetrating her way in the CDC because she understands that a way to sit comfortably and function as a government is to cripple the opposition, the plans of the opposition, and that opposition is significant. A strong force is the CDC, right? A strong force is the CDC.
Okay,
Cummins ANC has no record. The last time I checked, when they came out with Retire Suffering, a campaign that had a central message. Boakai, I tell you something. If that Retire Suffering was, or that campaign was being initiated by the Unity Party, and George Weah said, absolutely, that message was as simple as the way it was. It resonated with everyone.
Retire Suffering.
But what is it? The ANC was not useful at that time. So because of that, she failed. So when she failed, from that point, it predated the outcome of the elections for the ANC. So for that, we know the same way the ANC failed with the Retire Suffering, that's how she failed miserably in elections. So the ANC cannot be the one in this time to come out with anything to counter the government. That's when they just leave it.
Okay, so let me comment on this issue about the first plain protest, but in an opposition political party, which is the CDC. It feel a rally. They planned this protest and said that on April 26th, was it April 26th? April 26th will be coming out. So the feeling of the CDC to conduct a protest wherein they have already planned, that should send a message of weakness. When it was the Unity Party through the instrumentality of
and let's just get it straight. It wasn't the CDC, though. The CDC who have been a partner to that, but it was
Akaros Gray
cry for justice. No, they tried to change it because they understood you can just be fresh from leadership. You created many of the problems that President Boakai should solve. Then you come back after 3 months to pressure him to solve them. So from that angle, they needed is the intervention of revolutionaries, right? Instead of having the political party. That's how Akaros Gray and others came with the cry for justice. But it was the same CDC bury its CDC name, right? So they came with the cry for justice.
But failing to conduct that initiative, send a message of weakness.
Absolutely.
Send a message of failure. Send a message of being irresponsible. Because for an Easter, you and I can come and say, today we'll be talking about the CDC. And then after opening the conversation, talk about it 1 or 2 times, they will let go of it. We feel the Liberian people, Harris.
For me, I don't see it as a sign of weakness. I see it as not having the rightful message to bring to the people, Boakai. Because to have a protest, to have a peaceful assembly, whatever way you want to term it, you must have a centralized message that the people will see themselves in. That Boakai is sitting on his home and thinking that if for instance, right, let's be practical. The ANC had what we called suffering. I mean, the average Liberian understood at the time that there is a need for a paradigm shift in our leadership structure. That as we have we will have the conversation. Indeed, we were suffering at the time. In 2021, 2022, there was immense hardship in Liberia. You can't rule that out.
Yeah.
So whether based on political favors or not, you will get to understand that there were challenges at the time. So the message was as easy as possible. Now, Akaros Gray came out with cry for justice. It was even laughable, right? That even justice was attached to that peaceful assembly, right? Because this was the same character just a few months ago when he went at the University of Liberia and disrupted the intelligence of students. That his action led to a lot of students sustaining wounds and bloody injuries. Then such a character afterwards, not a single investigation was conducted. Even if there was an investigation, the outcomes of the investigation was shielded under the carpet. Because why? At that time he chaired the executive, right, at the level of the legislature. Part of that, he was an integral part of the executive branch of government. He was the only person working in the legislature, but have a direct function in the executive branch of government. Now, the Constitution talks about separation of power.
Yeah.
But Akaros Gray, so far as we speak, was one of the persons that disrespected that part of the Constitution that talks about separation of power. Akaros Gray was sitting at the legislature and directing the affairs of the executive as well. So a character like that at the time was being, was overshadowed, right? He had, that disrespectful and disorderly conduct, right? So how can it be such a man come up with cry for justice? Now, it reminded us of the Louis Brown scenario, that Cummings would have been a better person if Cummings would have championed at the time without suffering. If Cummings would have championed without suffering himself, himself.
But bringing on
right?
Louis Brown.
Louis Brown, it became laughable. It became laughable to so many Liberians. A lot of Liberians said at the time that we would have come out if it would have been Cummings or even another person, right? But it cannot be a Louis Brown coming out and telling us that we tired suffering. It was even an insult and an affront to our present condition. We cannot come out. Now, let's reconcile this to the Akaros Gray protest. So it was the same thing. Is it that justice? We need justice in this country.
Yes, of course. We
need an environment where, regardless of your association, regardless of your affiliation, we need justice for everyone. Because justice is blind. The last time I checked, justice is blind. Justice don't have eyes. But in our country, justice has been made to have eyes to see. It targets who it feels that they need to target. So in that case, we need now. But justice cannot be championed by a person that lacks the moral to do so. Justice cannot be championed by the men that over the years have been a champion of injustices in this country. Then it becomes an affront to those Liberians who are suffering beyond bars because they feel that they have disrespected the rule of law. It became a disservice now. The conversation now became a disservice to those Liberians, the likes of Gloria Mususka and others that are suffering beyond bars because of justice. Then why we have a folks that are Akaros Gray that have traceable records and of disrespecting the rule of laws in our country. So because of that, every Liberian, when Akaros Gray took to intellectual centers, it was under those editions that needed, their handouts that needed the $5 to $10 to survive. We hailed him. But on the average, on the radio and everywhere, the conversation was, though we need justice, but it cannot be an Akaros Gray justice. It cannot be an Akaros Gray advocacy about justice. So then what happened? They needed someone to take on the initiative. It cannot be Kogi, It was never Kogi. It cannot. Then you look into the CDC. You look into the CDC, you can't see anyone. It would have been better with Molu taking on that initiative. But again, Molu was looking for or transitioning to civil society.
Absolutely.
So Molu was never having time for that. So then Akaros Gray was left in thin air.
So where was the lack of Kogi?
So the message was lacking. So the message now became like useless. Right?
It became a one-man thing.
A one-man thing. So nothing. So the only thing Akaros Gray found it fit. He had to go on the beach in Cape Town, take some fresh air. And I believe the fresh air that Akaros Gray took in Cape Town, I think it helps to some extent, to nourish his brain, to have him have a paradigm shift in his thinking.
Those fresh airs were probably being sponsored by the government. Who knows?
That's what I'm saying. Because for reliable source, right? And I'm still working on that information. Akaros Gray receives Monday coupon from the government. I
Okay.
mean, Akara's great now. You know, this is a
It's the
gentleman.
packet of the government.
This is a gentleman that lives an extravagant lifestyle.
Mhm.
So living living power, it is somehow challenging for him.
Mm.
And so a character like that will maintain, you know, that I know presenting on the surface like he's advocating for the masses,
Mm.
but on a general basis, he's in bed with the government. Then someone will say Akara Grace now compromising, thinking, hey, listen, that's gone and those days. Because Akara is understanding the chances of the CDC 2029 is slight.
It's yeah.
It's slight.
Mhm.
So, like that, he wants to solidify his relationship so that if we enter 2026, 27, we're not changing. Who is Akara Grace not joining Unity Party? I mean, what did I think?
But Harris, let's look at the disenchantment coming from the food soldiers now. I don't think the top hierarchies of the CDC are doing the food soldiers any good because they are not propagating the message, because the food soldiers want to, they are willing, but they are not being motivated by their top hierarchies. Koji is on a sanction list. He can't say much again anymore. Koji can't say much. McGill,
Koji can say much. Let's just get this straight, because Koji
man,
is already censoring your country.
my man, Koji, Koji can be.
I'm not saying.
I'm not saying when I say he can't say much.
No. What I'm saying,
I come in. When I'm talking about not saying much, when the leg of Koji come and talk about, will he come and talk about human rights? He will never come and talk about human rights. He's been sanctioned on the issue about human rights. Been sanctioned not only on human rights, the issue about corruption is also tingling around him. You understand that? So what message is Koji coming to present to the Liberian people? So we should look at that. When I'm talking about he can't say much, those are some of the things I'm talking about.
I think for the issue about Koji, Buckeye, you want to agree with me that there are individuals that have been sanctioned. They took on the political challenge and they won despite the ascension. So what am I saying is that the issue about Koji, I think Koji has taken a back, and it is good for him. The last time I checked, it is good for him. And I said to someone, someone came to me, oh, why Koji not talking? No, Koji silent. And I said, it is good for a character like Koji. This is a young man that carry himself as if he was a demon god, right? Over the years, his primary focus and where George Weah appointed him, of which you were paid of taxpayer money. We, the taxpayer, you were paid with our money, but to ensure the city was clean. This is a gentleman that, on the expense of the taxpayer, he disrespected his office. He neglected his office and was basically going after people and was creating war for himself, right? A young man that worked in a space without any tangible. This is a young man. Buckeye, I will have the time. I'll have the time for you to reference when Koji last press engagement, when he was turning over office officially to John Siafa, the mayor now. He said something. When I asked Koji, and I was fortunate to be part of the press conference after what he explained, and I asked, all of what you explained, you came to MCC, there were no recession, there were no handbook for recession, you did all of these things. These are, I'm saying, for that is administration, right? Let's look at the practical, right? Let's see what have we done for the MCC that we can point out to in terms of transforming the city. And Koji, then I know at the time he had nothing to say, but instead he dwelt on the issue about having, administration, having intervention administratively. So a character like that, having served in such a position that's esteemed, the last time I checked, being the mayor of a city, Broca, is not an easy thing. Then the young person, a young man, as a matter of fact, for me, at the time I said George Weah was never wrong by appointing Koji to the city mayor position. But it became wrong when George Weah identified that Koji was incompetent and yet he kept on the job. That was my problem. Because a young man like Koji serving as a mayor, it was easy to bring the young people together, to use the young people to clean Monrovia. It was very easy.
Yeah.
So it was a very beautiful calculation. But again, the second year, you identified that this character was basically about politics, you could make Koji a political advisor, you could put Koji in your office to be advisor or politically, or you could make him, to be in a party and take him off the job. But you did not. You kept him on the job until you were defeated. So like that, Koji will sit back, take a reflection, have a time to reconsolidate and say, these are things, I was involved in these things I did, they were not right. And I think this is a time that I reconsidered that when I'm coming again, Buakai, I can have a change. The last time I checked, if you are sanctioned, by the US, you can take an appeal to the sanction. But that appeal needs to be demonstrated on your character. So for instance, if Koji is sanctioned for human rights violation, and after the years, maybe 2-3 years, if Koji conduct himself very well, you can take an appeal to the US. Over the years, this is it. I'm a changed person, and the US can evaluate and perhaps consideration the sanction can be lifted. It has happened over the time. So
they may go to church. They may go to church.
It's possible, yeah. So that's why the last time I said to someone, I think that Koji can be doing the trade as usher. Koji is using remedy as a way to lift a sanction. I'm telling you, this is a very smart game he's playing. So because he has been advised by his lawyers, and mind you, he has one of the very renowned lawyer in our country. So perhaps he's been advised that you have to conduct yourself. So his church record, the church will be providing a account for him. That this man has been baptized. Now he's an usher in the church. Over the years, he's been very active. Then the next thing from the angle of the party, you see him. He's not engaging, frequently into the politics. He's been quiet over the years and all of these things. The US now will be having a consideration that based on his accounts, that this person is a changed man, and now he's conducting himself in a very good way. There is a need that we can lift the sanction against him. And that's how it is. That's how it is. But as it stands, the CDC needs to rise up.
But let's look at the feature of the CDC. And Mr. Weah. He said when he got back from the break, when right after turning power over, he left the country for some time. When he got back, he said, we are back to engage the government politically. We will not sit and allow things to slide. We engage the government positively in getting things done for the Liberian people. Is Mr. We are really engaging this government, and let's look at the feature of the CDC. I'm saying this. Let me just come in. The UK, you can conclude. Then we'll go to the phone line. The phone lines. Mr. Weah, number one, my first thing I will be telling you this morning, former President George Manneh Weah, is to call for a retreat. We keep telling you this on this platform every day, Mr. Weah. Call for a retreat that will help nurture or help your partisans to understand where are you guys going. Because if you don't call for that retreat, there will be no hair, no tail. Everybody head to scatter. You made somebody a party chairman that is not even in a know on how to rebrand the political party. You let go of Mr. Moba Molu. Mr. Moba Molu was one of the mobilizers. He used to reach out to people. He used to you for population. They were all under his wings. Apart from Koji, Moba Molu was the second person that the youth used to listen to in the CDC. But now you have let go of that person as a party chair and brought somebody that is not even well known to the ordinary citizens. And you think this person can take you to the elections? Will it help you, Mr. Weah? We have the lack of Galasco that will be there, get to post on social media. They will not help you. Call for a retreat, Mr. Weah. Go and sit down and ask yourself, what's happening? Ask your folks, how can we engage the Liberian people? We are heading to elections. We are heading, even though we had just lost election a few months ago, but how can we recalibrate and come back stronger to the Liberian people? What message will we bring to them so that they can say, yes, the guys are ready? What message will they bring to the Liberian people?
Mm.
Mr. Weah, these are some of the things that you should be sitting and thinking about if you want to be president again. But if you don't want to be president again, that's fine. You can relax. You're forced, you can tell them to relax. But who will be, when you want to be an opposition, you have to engage the government. If you want to be an opposition, you have to engage this government. You just can sit there and relax. The youthful generation, your ordinary partisans, they are disenchanted. They want to hear that voice. They want to see that total representation of you within them. Once you speak, it means that you are speaking for them. You will give them the strength, the courage to speak out more. But once you become lenient, once you become like a lean dog, forget it. There's within the partisans, the zeals is trying to fill out.
It's exactly, Buckeye, and that's why when you asked about the future of the CDC, currently as it stands, I mean, holding all factor constant, Buckeye. I mean, building our conversation on the current happening. I don't see the future for CDC. I think that CDC does not have a future yet. I've been very frank with it. But again, there are still rooms for improvement. We just gone, 5 months in this administration. So we have 5 years, 5 months left. If we will do our analysis, so we'll do our calculation. So the CDC still have time that they can reconsolidate. I think it will be on their reconsolidation. If they reconsolidate, then we can predict the future of the CDC. But if we are to hold all factors constant at this level, the CDC does not have a future. The CDC, like I said, is a ship that is an empty vessel that is about to sink. So you want to look at, folks, that's what for me, I get bothered, right? And when you want to talk about the CDC, then you mention people like Sekou Carrasco. Carrasco is a trash of an intellectual. Bro, let's be frank. But man, Carrasco is a trash of an intellectual. If it is only with Carrasco even lacks at the time CDC was in power. At the time Carrasco, CDC was in power. Carrasco not even able to explain what the proper agenda meant. Carrasco not able to take one pillar of the proper agenda and explain it to everyone. What more at this time that the CDC don't even have an agenda yet? Then a trust of an intellectual Carrasco will come and sit back out in the conversation to tell you that he can counter the Joe Walker. Carrasco has a Facebook page that he needs to be frequently engaged. That's why you see the men sits and just read anything. Broker, the world is structured in a way people are able to say from the comfort of their homes and just read something, right? Perhaps again you have people managing their Facebook pages. So those are managing your Facebook pages are not the ones that will talk for you. So like that, you will just say, "Oh man, you know the thing, rest on it." The beginning of and show to you say, "Bossy." Then you look at it, "Oh yeah, good."
Yeah,
that post it. You post it. That's how characters like Carrasco function. But the man is not of intellectual. So let's just not just for me. We'll discuss seriously. Carrasco has been a bag ball over the years. So that's how he is. He's personal to George Weah. And I know when you want to discuss George Weah as a whole, then you say Carrasco can come in. But when we're discussing the CDC as a party, they'll be Carrasco out of it. Now, so the future of the CDC, like I said, it is working to crash. Right? It is moving on a downward trend.
Yeah, but can they do something about it?
It can be. There are still rooms for improvement. Part of the room for improvement, like we said, it is the issue about the hard retreat we talk about, right? The retreat was welcoming by every side of the conversation. Not until when George Weah, former president at the time, came and said there is no need for retreat and that authoritative way. And the last time I checked, George Weah, throughout his political career, has not been a president that have bring us something from foundational level and succeeded on it. George Weah has been this person politically now that people will set the stage, will set the platform, and he just steps on and move. That's George Weah. George Weah will not come out and say, "Okay, this is what I want to do." Even the formation of the proper agenda was never the thought, was never the idea of George Weah. That's why George was not able to sit throughout the 6 years. George was not able to sit with you today and discuss proper agenda or the six period of the proper agenda or the 4 periods. George was never able because he was not a crafter of it. He didn't have idea about it. Was something that the craft and they just briefed him. So the briefing that he received was what he acted on over the 6 years. That's it. So like a president like that needs foundation, right? a foundation you just established, for instance, okay, Papa the chair already, they can sit down. They can sit in. That's how he is. So you cannot tell me that George will be the one that will use relying on his own understanding to reawaken the CDC. That when the CDC will fall completely. Because there's a man that tell you that I don't want to be in politics. They force me. So that statement means that they already said that yes, I can't be there. That's how it is.
But are they forcing him now again?
That's what I'm saying. So if we want the CDC to progress at this level, they need all of the craft of the technocrats to come together and structure and come up with strategies. It was on those strategies that we present to George Weah will act on. And when George Weah act on, there will be results because he has that love, right? The people, the people lost him. Now you can take away from him. George Weah still carries his popularity. You can take away from him. So like that, if the strategies are already been designed, put his hand, perhaps you work on them, and from that way. But if you're waiting for George Weah as a person to come up with the strategy politically and present it to the party, never the CDC will succeed. The CDC will fall. So part of that, they already have a weakling of a chairman already. Right? In Janga Kogo. So George Weah, the standard bearer, is lacking strategy to reawaken the party. The party chairman is waiting for a strategy to work on. So the two main party, they're looking at Shawon. The two other party. So it is those technocrats. Well, a lot of the guys now, like Bwaka, I was reading through. Some of the guys are already thinking about returning to the US and everywhere. To go and follow that status. Some of them want to go and continue. Ronald Dubai, the rest of the others, right? Want to go back. Koji is not a strategist. What Koji knows is that, just a person giving the party hat and he knows how to go after people. That's what Koji knows best. So like that, for Koji is a different game. So Bwaka, the CDC is on the path of failure.
Okay, so if Mr. Weah decides today, he say, I'm not going to contest in the upcoming elections. Is there a phase for the CDC that can engage Mr. Jeremiah Kpankun in the 2029 elections and become victorious? Can we put forth, can the CDC put forth a leg of Cummins?
I think let's
and win an election against Mr. Cummins?
Let's do Cummins and say within the CDC.
Okay, let's just focus within the CDC.
Bwaka, I always tell people this. Dawah Zilong was never forced to defeat Tomo Falana elections. I say this for free. But you know why? Situation makes you the best person. When there are conditions, politically, people build on conditions to succeed. President Bwaka, at the time he was in authority, 2017, George Weah defeated him overwhelmingly. George Weah sits as the president for over 6 years. George Weah have been President Bwaka was never that person to defeat George Weah. But you know why? It's because of situation. When situation emerges with your political ambitions, when conditions coincide with your political ambitions, it makes you the favorable person. So President Bwaka had a situation of rescuing the country. That was the condition. That was the dire need of the Liberians. So because you were already a figure in having that condition that he needs to rescue the people, he used the two of them, and it works well for him. And that's how he emerges. He emerged victorious. So Dawah Zilong did the same. Well, at the time that Mus Ralo was, Mus Ralo needed someone to hold it, and the CDC was not giving that. So Tomo Falana from the CDC already, the people of Mus Ralo were resolved that it could be any other person, but not someone from the CDC. Dawah Zilong capitalized on that, and because of that, he built on it. It was the condition that took Dawah Zilong to the Senate.
Yeah, but
now,
with a united force behind him.
So what am I saying now? Within the CDC, whether there is a phase currently, he said no. But there is a possibility that a phase can emerge, or a phase will emerge, even if George Weah will not be president, or George Weah is not contesting 2029. If George Weah decides not to contest in 2029, there will be a phase that will emerge based on the situations that the Unity Party will provide. If President Bwaka, maybe will enter into the city, probably say, okay, you know what, since I'm contesting again, we'll do anything we feel like doing. Say, my beginning, anybody wants to go in jail. Anybody wants to do anything. When Labrimpo complains, all the other ministers doing the president says, now it's not my business, right? At or perhaps some of the promises the president made to Liberians that are achievable within the 6 years. And the president is not achieving them. We enter the 5th, the 6 years of his administration is nothing to show, right? No message, no central message. At that point, Buckeye, anyone that will emerge from the CDC will be will be likely to win elections. But until that happens, even George Weah will still struggle at the end of 2029 to just overcome the Unity Party. Buckeye. That's just it.
Okay, folks. So we'll open the phone lines this morning on 077-866-5699 07. But before we do that, I don't know. We want to chip in a little bit about the issue about rice.
Yeah, let's just go for it. Then we'll come.
Yeah, okay. So we'll take some calls on 077-866-5699. Once again, 077-866-5699 or 07. That's 080-561-644, 080-561-644. Keep your calls coming in this morning on the Punch Breakfast Show with me, Buakai Amara Kamara and Harris Betty. Let's take our first caller here this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing there?
Doing pretty well. Your name is joining us from?
I'm Jean Kokoya joining you from EAW Junction this morning.
Welcome, Mr. Kokoya. Take 1 minute quickly.
Okay, I want to speak on the fact about Kochi. Only being silent does not mean that he cannot talk. But the point here, we're looking at Kochi. Kochi is someone that is very irresponsible. When it comes to political issue, Kochi is very irresponsible because Kochi engaged in a lot of protests here that I can identify some people that I know. A close friend of mine that he's been using to engage in some of those politics and in some of those protests. So if we're talking about political side, Kochi is nowhere. The old government is built with system, this new government. So it will be very hard for somebody to penetrate the government. Okay? So the future of the CDC is unpredictable for now.
Is it that they are not capable of or they don't have the manpower to do so?
No, they are not capable of doing that right now. They are not capable. They are powerless for now because their government now is built up with system. But just to monitor the past government, how things were working for all us in the country. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. 077-866-5699 077-866-5699. Let's take another person on this line. Good morning. Welcome. Your name is joining us from?
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, your name. Welcome.
Thank you. This is Thomas N. Savo, a proud citizen and member of CDC District Number 2 UV.
Welcome, my brother. Take 1 minute quickly.
Thank you. I listened to your conversation, which is contrary to the plans of the CDC. And I think discussing the CDC manner is not very necessary.
We discuss everybody here, my brother. They're going time. I probably never follow us on Friday, right?
So I always follow this show.
But you follow us on Friday?
No, I don't follow on Friday.
Okay. Because we discuss the party as we are doing now for the CDC. So go ahead. Just make a contribution, my brother.
Okay. First, the state president Weah is doing nothing at this time. It's a disinformation. And I think let me correct that first one. But President Weah came down after he got defeated and went out of the country. When he came back, he had a meeting with all of the CEOs of the party, the various leadership, all those who are in the various campaign committee. He had a meeting with that various committee. All the various county structure, he had a meeting with them. The district structure, he had a meeting with them. We are part of almost all of that meeting. Some of us were there arranging things. And he stayed. The white person we are still is state governance. It's not because they will get in power January, February, people start playing June 7 protest, so it means you do the same. Give them the platform to do what they can do. At the end, we will know how to critique them. But if they will not do nothing, you'll just be critiquing them on me.
But are you, as a citizen, are you satisfied with the way things are like within the CDC?
The CDC is a political party.
I ask you a very simple question. Are you satisfied with the way things are like within the CDC? That's my question.
The CDC was not funded to certify me. The CDC was funded to certify the grassroots.
Okay, so are the grassroots satisfied?
The grassroots are certified. And one thing there is, the CDC is coming out with a plan. For you to say that the CDC will treat that foundation in air. You never knew the conversation that went that were on about Chairman Molu. So have you ever asked yourself why when we are made the next on the Molu
So what happened to the field protest?
But the message justifying what exactly we said. Yeah.
So what happened to the field protest that was supposed to be conducted by Mr. Akaros Moses Gray and some folks within the CDC?
So Akaros Gray reform a redeem and believe. It doesn't mean it was for the CDC. Akaros reform his civil society agree along with Daniel Babel. It doesn't mean it was the CDC. It was left with the CDC, the former opposition, now the government, to endorse them. What they did to council a picture to endorse.
Okay.
I'm not part of it. I'm not part of them. I'm not part of that civil society group, so I can't say anything about that. But the CDC, we are engaging our various cells. No, CDC is the only political party that is structured everywhere community in this country.
Okay.
So if you not do that in less than 1 month. So do this government. I always say, oh, this government. Let me just conclude 1 minute.
Yeah, go ahead, conclude. I want to give you the time for.
But say, oh, this government, even the person who is not even intellectually inclined, know that the government are already sure. But the government are saying they are responsible, so the CDC have no way to critique them. It's a disinformation.
Okay.
The CDC will come back and you will come and hear the CDC.
Okay.
And that's
exactly what we want to see.
Thank you so much, my brother.
That's exactly what we want to see, brother.
Thank you.
And
so we stay taking your course. Yeah, we give everybody the time. Is that he come in defense of the CDC.
He not agree.
He message he not agreeing to it. So now we take another person on this line. Good morning, welcome. Your name, where joining us from?
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, welcome. Your name?
My name is Abraham B. Brown. I'm calling you from Essecoba, Rotterdam, respectively.
Welcome, Mr. Brown.
Yes, the issue Baka is behaving like a evil in Labrador who doesn't understand politics. Within Baka 100 days, Baka has scored absolute zero. I heard somebody say great Baka 10%. He has scored absolute zero.
No. Listen. Hello. It was from Namut. It was from Namut. A civil society organization.
And besides, or Baka, I think it'll be respectful.
Right,
yeah, let him just conclude.
It'll be respectful. You are the president to it. I think that's what we have to.
I'm speaking as his president, right? I'm saying Baka has scored absolute zero.
Okay.
Because out of the promises Baka have made, he have not led to a commitment. Even based on the public or asset declaration,
yeah, but why is it that? But why is it that you guys or your top hierarchies from CDC are not putting forth some of these things to them to make them know that, oh yes, this government has failed miserably in the first 100 days deliverable? What are you guys waiting for?
No, that would be a thing. If you listen to Sapoko, Sapoko is in the horse that will be Jordan in my brother. But what way?
How far did that debate go? How far did the debate go?
As to speak, we are getting up to 25%, and Sapoko will talk about his bill. Everybody is using the time.
Yeah, go ahead, quickly. We have someone on the line. Yeah.
Because these were things during the campaign to tell the people that they're going to pop up. Our structural issue. Don't somebody think
Mama, you finish going to the issue.
Yeah, okay. A lot of people on dedication. Baka carry up to 25%. So they on imagine they telling us now, which are the best information about the public.
Mama, okay, Mama, we'll call you so you can cancel again debate the issue tomorrow from 8. Mama, I want for you to come tomorrow, Mama. I want for you to.
You can call me on my number.
Okay. All right, I will call you so you can come tomorrow so we can discuss it. All right. Let's take Noah Zau Gibson from the across to Mark Pacquiao. Noah, they may use your money. Noah, good morning.
On the message,
Noah, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Good morning, gentlemen.
Welcome to the conversation.
I'm sitting in my office here and just laughing. the first thing here, I want to let our brothers from the CDC to understand that June 7 protest, but then the government was 1 year, 5 months old. But then the government was 1.5 years when we organized the protest. The government was inaugurated January 22nd, 2018, and 2019 June was the protest. So when you calculate from January 2018 to January 2019, at 1 year already. From January 2019 to June, the 5 months. So the government were already balanced when we organized that protest. Not in a case where we were just less than 10 days old, you went and orchestrated a protest in Kinjor against our government to the extent that one of your actors in the city, person of my good friend and brother, Malaya Sherry, now attend to be a spokesperson for the 3 persons who died, family in the Kinjor situation. That's how, that's the CDC we know. This is how they good at politicizing issue. Now, on the issue of the president publication of the assets, yes, Manfari said, yeah, I want to challenge the president to do so. We want the president to publish his assets so this can be, transparent, to push the very transparency that we know him for. And I think the caller made a mistake. The president declared his assets. He didn't feel to declare his assets. The president declared his assets in February. The law says within 30 days in office, before taking office, or within 30 days, and the president was 17 days in office when he declared his assets, something which your president did not do. Your president declared his assets after 6 months. So compare the 2 years. Coming to the issue of the 100 days, I've been trying to reach out to my good friend, brother Eddie Chawolo. I don't know how you derive at that. You can take the government 6 years, the government overall 6-year promises, they made 160 promises for the 6th year. You took it and put it in the entire, in the 100 days. There were key issues the government targeted for the 100 days and they implemented them. The government told you that they would have made roads pliable. And roads were pliable. People left from Grand Judea and came here within time, and the records are there. The government also told you that the rule of law, what did we do? What the CDC government failed to do, we did it in less than 100 days. The signing of the War and Economic Crime Code. We did that in 100 days. So if I were to name all of the achievements, we'll move from here. Then you say the government failed, that you call that failure, but I can guarantee you.
But it was no. It was a scene number you guys were running away when you were in opposition. So number coming up with a report. Why is it becoming a problem today when it wasn't a problem during the George Weah administration?
And I love that. That's the Bwaka I know you to be. Very objective. Bwaka, we are now have issue with the issue of NAMO, even as now. Our point with NAMO is some of what they reported were unrealistic. They did not engage some of us properly to get the proper information. Like if you heard them, they said they never had information on 45 projects. So if you never have information on it, why publish it? Why couldn't you wait until you get your information? Because not having information on it does not mean that it's not ongoing. So these are issues we have problem with NAMO. I still have a great respect for Eddie Chawolo. He approving that. But I think on this note, he erred that by taking a entire 6-year promises to put it in 100 days and say we failed. I think that was unfair. And I can tell you, this government will deliver. We just 4 months by day after tomorrow will be 4 months old. But see what we've done. We're doing other things. Today, Central Monrovia will start receiving water. We'll start testing water.
But forget all that thing, man. The other place when Joel in power, they see Central Monrovia receiving water. So that's not something for you to boast of.
No, it's something to boast of. You know why? You know why we boast of it? Let me clarify the water issue in Central Monrovia. There is a reservoir that they should repair, which would have taken them 41,000 to repair it. They did not repair it.
So you know, partly repairing it.
You see? Of course, that's why today water will be tested.
All right. Thank you so much. I will give you. Let's take Pacquiao on this line this morning. Good morning. Sorry for the delay. Welcome to the show.
No, you said it already, Baka. Good morning to you, and Harry said good morning to Liberia. You said it already. You said me, and I'm spending money. Money. You add one cup, then you go let him.
No, sorry, Chief. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you for the show, and always as well. Always following the morning. I must commend you guys as well, because I think the station you're sitting on, the way you can handle issues are quite balanced. People are even surprised as to why you people are so balanced when the owner of this particular station that you guys are sitting on is from the governing party. There are other institutions. This manager will say that what you will go back. The way you guys can analyze those that your form of journalism is as credible as the international journalism that I was seeing here in the UK. Thank you plenty. Look, let me start off. Let me ask you, Harris. Maybe Harris and you, Kamara. Maybe you can answer the question. If you have a child, invest in that child. The child say, look, I want you to go to university in Ghana, or I want you to go to Canada University. I'll get all the money. Child to Ghana or Canada. After a couple of months or so, that child is deported to Liberia. And then the child come back when you approach them. Why did you go involved in this thing? Here now, all my money is spoiled. Then the child will tell you, but daddy, in the to leave or wanted to go any other country. Would you sometimes invest in that child to take that child again and send that child to America to school?
No.
Okay. That I don't want you to answer here. That's analyze the issue of this 2029 thing that I'm hearing from maybe sympathizers or seditions, because majority of people in our country, when you hold membership and you pay membership due, then yes. The 2029 issue around by former President George Weah, let's be honest, they at the very crucial time, 2023, few months to elections, wherein they supposed to be on top of everything to make sure that they grab that position. And be very frank with you people. I never thought of even wanted to be president. These fellow these guys, they forced me inside because they wanted something. Now that alone, man, should we be delusional again to say the same person that reached you yesterday?
The same person won't pull back there today again.
Okay. I pose that question to you.
Okay.
Look, the only way maybe you are the details to if I buy the airtime and saying yes, down to come and stay there for 30 minutes. But what do they have to come actually put on the table?
No, they have some things to come and talk about. They have some things to come and talk about.
Observation.
Yeah. Let's conclude quickly, Mark. We have
our guests already, Mark.
As far as my observation is concerned, no opposition political party in Liberia yet. They are still trying to having meetings to see whether they still want to be political parties or so. But anyway, thank you so much for the show about former President George Weah. As far as I know, it's not on his table.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mark. We take 2 more calls. Yeah, so let's see. Just this last caller here. Good morning.
Yes, hello.
Good morning. Your name is joining us from?
I'm
Lieutenant B. Rogers calling from 24th Street, down the beach, single.
Welcome, my man. Take 1 minute quickly, my brother.
Yes, thank you for the show. Actually, I always follow you guys' show. You guys are very balanced in your conversation and whatever. I really love your show and whatsoever. But let me tell you, see, this is a formidable force that will come out on it on the 9 and win the election clear. We're not rushing the people, got a 3 months, 4 months, doing this, doing that. I know the people came in power with lies. Power with not in power with lies. When that people say we're doing it, we just put it on with the one, no. We want power, say, we want to provide that, they don't tell people what we're doing. But for them, they need everything that they wanted to need. And now they even want to fulfill even one. The lie about going to that road. This is all the roads are very poor. How can you spend $3 million on Dusty Road, get a greater road? It makes no sense at all. So why you just going to put that money behind Kota? Each time you face more, carry.
Okay.
They're working on power with lies. See, they're not rushing the people. We're not rushing the people.
All right.
We're giving them 1 year. They said we should give them 1 year. So you guys, thanks for the show. Having this good conversation.
Okay, thanks so much, my brother, for calling in this morning the Punch Breakfast Show. We coming to you live from Pinsville. This morning coming up shortly, we'll have Honorable Smooth K. Moba. He's the representative of District Number 3, Moserado County. He's already live in our studio, so we'll be talking to him about a wide range of issues. The issue about the War Crimes Court. He was one of the brain behind the establishment of the War Economic Crimes Court here in Liberia. But we will be talking the district. From there, we transition to some national issues. So we now have with us here the lawmaker of District Number 3, Moserado County, in person of Representative Smooth K. Moba. Good morning, sir. Welcome to the Punch Show.
Good morning, and good morning to the listening audience.
You know, whenever we call upon you, you are always there to come live on the show. I much appreciate you for that.
Yeah, thank you. I think our job is to give the information to the public and make sure they happen at the house. Our people are knowledgeable about the information. So I'm always happy to be here when you call upon me.
Okay, so we have a wide range of issues to look at in on the show this morning. But let's look at the issue about this motorcyclist and the no-go zone policy put in place by the government. I want for us to start off from that, then we can transition bit by bit because we have a long time to go this morning. Yeah, so how do you see this issue about the motorcyclists? You as a lawmaker, I know you have some citizens within your district who are motorists and they are going through a lot of things. What do you make of this policy by the government?
All right, I think from my studies and the research I did all the time, I noticed like there is no legislation as it relates to quote unquote the issue of the motorcyclists convincing them to wear their helmets and safety gear. But what I know of is that we have traffic rule that have to do with safety. But I went through the Liberia traffic regulation and other things, but I did not I did not see the issue of quote unquote the helmet. But I think it's necessary. I always like to say this with the issue of no-go zone. We have two coins, the hair and tail. One with the hair, I will say that it's beautiful to have those laws as it relates to no-go zone. Because one thing that will happen is that it reduces the criminal rate as it relates to traffic robbery. It also help with the issue of no-go zone. It helped to reduce the rate of accidents. And that's the good side of it. And the other side of the coin, which is the tail, happen to be with the issue of transportation. If you are saying no-go zone, then government should have provided buses that would take our people to time, and there won't be area where people fighting for car and other things. So we have to be very careful how we handle this, because is from both sides. Most of our people will suffer. I think we are seeing it now. You see more people walking the distance because the motorcyclists guys were there to help our people to reach to their near destination. But without the motorcycle guys, the young people, then I think it's very difficult as it relates to transportation. So I think there should be a dialogue. I'm not looking at where people protest. I won't support protest because I feel as young people, we all need to work together. We need to have a very peaceful environment so that our ideas can run through. And that can only happen when we have dialogue.
So you think Boka, before you come in, there has been this one concern that prior to this restriction, there was consultations ongoing with the police, that of the cyclists, the different unions. I want to believe at that time the lawmakers who have heard the conversation in the pipeline about the no-go zone restriction. Folks are saying, but then you lawmakers who have taken responsibility to invite the police inspector general to better explain how this happened, the effects considering the cyclists as well. I mean, none of you were able to invite the police folks, the police inspector general until this restriction is in full swing. Now it is affecting both the commuters and that of the riders. It is at this point we start to hear few lawmakers starting to raise concern about this issue.
I think first, what we're hearing was about the safety issue, the helmets, and the reflected jacket, and not the no-go zone. But I'm not saying I will support the no-go zone. I do support the no-go zone because it helped reduce the issue of accident. But then I support the no-go zone where government provide buses for our people to take them to town. That's my issue. That's the underlying issue. With the young people, we started doing that. We started conscientizing them because one of my appeal have been like to create more time, give them more time, right, as to the no-go zone, so that our young people can find a way to adjust themselves. But it was done abruptly. Yeah.
And Baka, you want to come in with this?
Yeah, the issue about giving time, Honorable. Don't you think if even it was a year given to motorcyclists, it would be the same thing? Because the issue about policy and working along with for citizens is something that no matter what it is, there will be some people that will not want to work along with government in getting some of these things done. So the timing that you are talking about, do you think that it should have been 2-3 months given allotted to them to do all of their processes, and then before Canada with such policy, or a year? Which one are you talking about?
I think government needs to do more this part, the timing, as it relates to the policy, because the thing here is that most of our young people are on the street using the bike, like creating safe employment for themselves to make money, because there is no job. So there are so many things in order to get the young people, because what I understand is that even with the issue of the motorcyclists, you find that most of our people the robbing issue reduces, because I remember then in the past people used to do like arm rob and other things. So with the issue of the motorbike, the keke, we noticed that there have been a reduction in criminal activity. So what government needs to do is to make sure, first of all, to create jobs. For the young people, because if you're telling them, say, don't do this one, you're also telling them, say, look, go and park the motorbike, because if you just run from red light to Pueblo line, you are not helping them. How many motorcycles, the amount of motorcycles we have, when everybody go to run from there to Pueblo line, will just acquire what they want. So what we urging government to do is with it, create more job for the young people, right? If you create job for the young people and put buses on the street, then you can create the environment for no-go zone. Like in Lagos, not Lagos, Abuja, Nigeria, they did that, the no-go zone. But what government did first was to provide buses for the people and likewise create job with concession. So when they did that, then they came about with the no-go zone. But without doing anything for the young people, then you say no-go zone, then what you expect them to get money from? What you expect them to live? So that's the issue.
Some critics will say your account, it presents a different side of the conversation. If government will listen to you, it's not something that is achievable in the soonest possible time. And now we talk about safety. then it shows the weakness of the government. It shows the weakness of the police. Like some of your lawmakers, I'm saying your fellow colleagues have said, the fact if government will give consideration the plan of the cyclists, it means that they are setting a very dangerous precedent.
What could be done? We could look at the time frame. Government could get more time to allow our young people adjust themselves, and at the same time work along with the helmet rule, the helmet and the reflective jacket, right? Make it compulsory. Like I did just the time I was home, I did a bill, right, that will be introducing roughly by next week Tuesday on the floor, right, to make helmet and reflective jacket compulsory.
Compulsory. A bill to the legislature.
Yeah. So it helped as it relates to safety for all of those rather, because what we're trying to avoid, I'm looking at is abrasion. Maybe people will have injury and other things. So to reduce or mitigate the rate of accident, all we need to do is to introduce or force the helmet and reflective jacket rules.
Okay, so
create an right, not to go with no-go zone. We just open it, people go in, but with helmet and reflective jacket.
Let's talk a bit before we transition to all of this discussion. The last time, I think a few days ago, we saw you with over 100 pieces of helmet. We saw you from your storeroom. You were working on them. According to you, you're going to work with the police in your district to have those helmets distributed to the cyclists. How far are we?
Well, we have given all close to 250 helmets and reflective jacket, because I think in order to create a robust policy that will have an impact on the young people, all we need to do is to help them. So what I did first was to create a campaign. Each one, right? Each one provide a helmet. So all we need to do is that government official from the executive, likewise the three branches of government, we can just help our young people by providing them a helmet, reflective jacket, right, to get on the street. Then the police can monitor it for like 3 months and see whether it will be very much efficient. So forget about the no-go zone. Allow the young people to use their helmet, but it should be something compulsory. That every rider should have a helmet to that of the person sitting at the back for the motorcyclist. Then for the keke, you need not to have people wearing helmet at the back, but at least the driver should have something like helmet. So there is a bill that we will introduce, and we'll make sure our colleague will support the bill. Yeah.
Okay, so you want to transition to the district? Because
we transition to the district. I was particular about this cyclist team, because the last time we had some of our groups here, and Waka, you may recall, they mentioned that the lawmakers are not speaking their interest, especially at the time when the government brought forth the no-go restriction. For them, like you at the place, they want to accept the helmet, reflective jacket, the safety boots, but the issue about the no-go restriction, it places severe economic challenges for them. You have some of those cyclists riding, they will have to make reports before they take home something for themselves. So it's a whole thing, but it seems like the police is showing no sign of compromising on this. And so, and that's what I'm looking through as to whether your advocacy will be fruitful anytime soon, because the police RG, I have listened to him. He acknowledged there are challenges with the no-go zone restriction. People are finding it difficult, but he has wisdom that as we move along, Liberians will be adjustment. People will get adjusted to the system, and we're going to move on. So the account of the RG presents that is not something that the police seems to be compromising on.
I think other countries they had no-go zone, it was not effective as it relates to building the capacity of young people. So they restricted it. So what I could advise to the police RG is just simple. All he needs to do, because I think one of the things is that the high-speed area as it relates to the traffic. So he tried to create a zone where the motorcycle will not go to the high-speed area. But all he can do is to carry on awareness, do a lot of workshop, train our young people, right, as it relates to the traffic rule. And I think they will be able to abide by those laws. But as it relates to no-go zone, I would not support no-go zone, because our people are going through hardship. I think he experienced that, because even the IG have a car. He just, in the morning he go to work. There's no issue with as it relates to they have something of transportation for him. But then the common citizen, the grassrooter,
the school going
check around, no, but go to what's the place? MTA, right?
MTA,
right?
yeah.
Go and see. There's no buses. So how can you help the grassroots people, our people, right, to get to town?
I'm told there's on the way for a peaceful assembly by the cyclists, especially against the no-go zone restriction. So when you speak as a lawmaker that you don't support the no-go zone restriction, to some extent, folks will want to believe that you are one of those supporting the cyclists on the issue about the peaceful assembly.
I'm not supporting anyone. I support the issue of policy for our country, right? I support dialogue. So in order to handle that quickly, to mitigate that, what I would do is at a very soon as possible time to place on the floor where we can have the transport, the committee on transport, to mitigate the issue between the cyclists to that of the police. Let's see how the House can take it. But the way I see things, the police IG need to come down and listen to us and make sure we do the right thing. Yeah.
Okay, so we go transition to District 3.
District 3.
We will end up at the Capitol building. At the Capitol building, there'll be a very interesting conversation this morning. We're going to look at, but let's begin with District number 3. Few days ago, or weeks to so to speak, we saw you had a very, very elaborate community engagement with your constituents. At that gathering, there was a resolution that we followed, of which an interim leadership was constituted there, and I'm told that leadership will will set the agenda for an electoral process where the District Development Council will be established and people will be elected to those positions. A few days after, some folks believed to be elders of the district issued a vote of no confidence in you. According to them, what you did not reconcile with the way the district has been governed over the past years. I mean, it raises concern to your personality and your vision for District number 3. That a part of that is representation, and so if you are representing your people and you have certain number of the folks who want to or are issuing a vote of no confidence, then it speaks to your character. You want to address that this morning?
All right. I think what we speak to my character is policy issue. When people try to be very straight, then other people think that you are doing the wrong thing. I think as it relates to the Elder Council, there is a constitution that I met, and the constitution make mention of the duration, the time frame for one to take position in the district. And some of them have been there for 12 years, some 18 years. And we received a lot of letters, close to 26 now, from the district requesting that we go through election to have the District Development Council, to that of the elder and the board, because the duration is 4 years for the position. But then when I came on board, they supported me. We had a very tight-to-tight, friendly environment during the campaign time, and they supported me. We won the election, but I asked them for the truth. Asked them by policy. So if you were to be changed, you need to go through the election and be changed. I think what they're lacking is that they lack the idea of local governance. District 3 is not a township. So appoint elders, to appoint a district development officer, right? We have District Development Council. They are not district development officers according to local government. So what we thought it wise to do, we did an investigation. We did try to recall some stock to see whether they were people of integrity. We did our fact-finding, and it was proven that they took a lot of money. Even the administrative building which is for the district, there have been a lot of money in revenue and other things from there. But then they are using it on their own up to today. Some of them, they are not working, but you see their houses, well built, and the money is not coming to the district. The people are not benefiting from what they receive. We are saying no to that. There should be an account. Right. And the president said there is no business as usual. So while you have certain group of people who feel that without the district, they started with CB Bashir, right? They started with Bill Tuawe. They brought Bill Tuawe down. They went to CB Bashir. They brought CB Bashir down. I'm aware, even with 10,000 United States dollars Bashir gave them, they took and ate that money, right? I stood for them at the PNV Magisterial Court, where I stood their bond. But when I came in, I represented it. After doing my fact finding, I noticed that indeed they were corrupt and they needed to be changed. So I would not work with corrupt people. And whether vote of no confidence, I was elected by 8,900 people. If just 10% can go and say vote of no confidence, it makes no sense.
But you stood by them before, and now you are letting go of them. So I don't know.
Stood with them before, not knowing integrated what their character was like, but being in the position, knowing them, doing my own fact finding from documents.
So you stood with them without knowing them. That's you stood with them without knowing them.
I was not close to the document at that time. By this time, I'm close to the document, even with as it relates to the county development form. It was been played with up to today. Because what I'm aware of from the county development, I have document to that. The county development form working in a way that they have a meeting together, a joint meeting, all representative, whosoever stakeholder. I've been told the capital city of the country, right? They meet there and discuss issues pertaining to the county. And they are phone from China Union, they are phone from Western Cluster that were given like 500,000 each every year, right? And you cannot see anything in the district. But people sign for it. And those that sign for it happen to be the lawmaker, not the lawmaker, the DDC, the other council, the young people, the women. I want to know those that suffer and knew them. They are the same people requesting that vote of no confidence today.
At times, you want to have, you want to provide an environment of due process. That is, so you call them. I mean, you have the conversation, and they'll account for it. And it is on their account as well that you use. Perhaps to make a decision.
Yeah, we had roughly about 4 different meetings. We had our retreat, we had an acquaintance meeting, we had the stakeholder meeting, and we had the last meeting. They refused to make themselves available for the
were they invited? I mean,
so many times. So we took the call. Because
part of the reason what I'm asking
that dialogue in us,
those were the individuals just few months ago that you took up the time at the time you didn't know that.
You stood.
Someone say the workmanship clothing. That's how they presented themselves. And you were confident of them, and that's how you stood your bond at that time. And so soon, very soon, when you start to get the actual information, perhaps in an environment of such, people feel unsafe with you. That's because you try to expose them so they feel unsafe with you. But my concern here is that you could have provided an environment so that they will come on board and explain themselves.
So let me give you, we did that. Let me give you some point again. Even with the issue of the district constitution, the guys put a constitution together that I took it to be the Catholic Bible during those days, where the constitution was inherited, controlled by a specific group. When I came, I requested, it took almost a month to receive the constitution. In the constitution, when you get the constitution defined from our organic law, the constitution will tell you, say, the 2011 leadership should remain for perpetual existence. Which is
perpetual existence?
Yeah.
Wow.
Perpetual existence, which is wrong. You cannot be empowered to death. You cannot be empowered. So we say, no, this cannot work. The constitution gave them the strength, the power more than the representative of the district. So I should report to them. I should report to them. And it did the organic law. Because I'm the head of the district. What should I report to them?
Harris, my only problem I have with the honorable men is that you knew all this. You say you weren't close to the document, you stood by them. Now you are close to the document, and you guys are no longer in a boat that you guys were riding before. Can we say this, that you wanted to win an election coming up with this because probably you are seeking their support? That's why you play a blind eye on some of these things. Now you are getting their support and you are coming up with us all of these things now and exposing them. First, you never cared about exposing them. You stood by them, you stood their bomb, but now here we are, you are exposing them.
When Christ was selecting his disciple, he did and acknowledge that Judas Iscariot want to betray him.
I love that.
So I'm telling you that during the time of selection, during the time of work campaign, you work with people from
Most
different
of them come in that on the
and when you are on top of the fence, you have no knowledge of what is happening in the fence.
Okay.
So I'm in the fence now as the representative of district number 3. With the number of documents I have on my table, I deem it necessary that the guys, they have overstayed, they need to leave according to the constitution. 2 to 8, they are corrupt, they need to leave. And our people need to have access to their own account. Our people need to monitor their account. We did a website. All we ask them to do is to make sure, give us the account, let try to put it on the website so that everyone can have access to what is going on. When you spend, we see it.
Okay.
They refuse.
You
They refuse.
you think as a lawmaker, perhaps from your account, that over the years transparency has been an issue in district number 3.
When you say transparency, I will look at integrity. People with good character. To find some of them is very difficult. And people turn to
I mean, especially for those leadership now.
Yeah, those in leadership. What they have been, just imagine, they have been in leadership from 2011 up to today. So there are people that have been picturing the lawmaker different, right? It's possible that Bill Thomas may have been a good guy, but the way they picture him, right? At the end of the day, they cannot get what they want. They push you aside, right? So many days they call my phone, oh, I need this, I need that. If you need this, you need that. Look, elders, we cannot continue with this. Because if I continue giving you, how will I relate to the district? Okay. Right? We need majority and not just few. That's what people need to understand. If I just take care of few people behind the house or behind the curtain, what about the majority there? We need project to go on, right? We need school, a community college.
Perhaps
we need to educate our women, right? How can we do that?
Perhaps this could be the standing disagreement. Perhaps this could be the source of the
even a re-election. Don't you think so?
Look, I'm not worried about re-election. I'm worrying about the issue of policy. We have to implement policy to the fullest. That's my issue. Election will come and will bring itself.
Let's look at the new folks you have brought on board to work with you now. Especially on the basis of integrity, like you spoke of, and accountability.
Yeah.
Primary reasons why you decided to have those that have been in position over the years. Someone will say they understand the running of the district.
Yeah.
You are not basically about experience any longer, but rather integrity. You have to get them off the hook. Let's look at those you bring on board. Are you trusting their ability as well?
Now,
you gotta be careful.
Let get it straight. Now, who I'm bringing on board? What happened is that the block leader, we have 52 blocks. The block leader and stakeholder in district number 3 consider the council DDC vote of no confidence already.
Okay.
Right? We all will be at the court today at 2 o'clock. So they had their election. The day that on appoint nomination, we had the program, we had the police, right?
I was part of that.
Yeah. And there, what we did was to bring it to the people, right? Because power is inherited in the people, right? The people should have power, not us, the leader. So what we did is to introduce it to them. We told them what everything that happened, and they had a resolution that was put forth, right? They signed the resolution. They had an interim thing that would take us to July because the court said we will go for election. It's a verdict. I came from the court, the magisterial court, that the constitution is considered non-involved. We should go and have a review on the constitution because there are a lot of discrepancy in the constitution. And due to that, those that are occupying the election that are occupied for 8 years should leave the position and we should go through election, right? If you think that you are strong in the district as an elder council or a DDC chair, all you need to do is to have a peaceful environment, get to the election. When you win, I'm also willing to work with you. It's not to work with a specific people. No, we want our people to go through election, and through the election, we have our leader. Then we all can work together.
There's this
so for the interim team, even they have the interim team is Dr. Reeve. I think you know Dr. Reeve for the district. He's one person that I respect. He should be one of the representatives. But if Dr. Reeve can leave all of his work, all of what he's doing, to come down, and he was not appointed as an interim team just for 2 or 3 months.
Okay.
It tells you that the people of District 3 want to change. And that change is to make sure we have the right people in position.
It is somehow now in the district. When I listen to some folks, that reconciliation has always been a challenge in district number 3. And some folks believe that those that we have to give way, especially those elders that have left the scene, it has been misconstrued that it is CB Bashir people that you took from the position. That's how.
That's
that's how they have
Yeah.
interpreted
Mhm.
that. Which of course it was a resolution. Those who were elected as interim leaders were nominated by their various communities.
Let me just pinpoint in that quickly and do some correction. Not everybody we took from their position for community leaders. We have people that went through their election already. They are already chairmen and they have not gone 4 years. So according to the constitution, when you have gone 4 years, there should be an election. There should be an election, right? So what we are saying, those that have already in a position and have not gone 4 years will remain in that position. We are not there to change people and bring in our people. No, right? We want the district to come up with their own thing, right? Choose their own people, do their own nomination. Let power be in the hands of our people. Yeah.
Is it that is it that you are not willing to work with them, or you are not seeing the cordial relationship between you and them? That's why you came up with it, and now you are bringing people that you think they are flexible of working with, or this is about the district?
No, it will take time for people to get to know me. I think gradually as we go further, people will get to know what I stand for. I stand for policy. Okay. I'm not looking at how people turn things. So the thing here, we work along during the campaign time. We are friendly. Some of them serve as my chairman during the campaign chair. So one way I want to push them away, I'm just going with policy and I'm going with integrity. That's it.
You are one person that was hailed in the district number 3. I can record. You were like the David that arrived, and killed the Goliath. Well, let's take it. How was it so soon you start to have the kinds of standing disagreements with the same very people that hail you? I mean, just few months ago.
Yeah, because we are here to make sure we change Liberia. I'm not here just for district number 3. There's the reason why I'm the proponent of the War Crown Code. There are other bill will be coming out with so that majority can benefit, not just few.
Did you see this coming at the time you contested?
Of course. I knew that I want to meet this resistance, and I'm prepared for that.
Okay, we're gonna move on.
Before we move on, let me just acknowledge we are live on KMTV. We are live also on Injure TV, Punch TV, and Punch FM.
And subsequently, the guy from
OK will join us too. So
notify me that it's going away. But I'm considering that. I listened some few days ago from your immediate past, a colleague in the district, that's Honorable CB Bashir.
Yeah,
I follow up on an interview over this thing about some funds allotted to the district for development, of which he claimed that he left in the covers of the district. That you accusing him of that he mismanaged those funds. Part of the reasons he had to take to the airwave to clear his name. According to him, a lot of the things now you build it on in the district, where it is based on his initiative, his personal initiative and contribution to the district. That now you are dwelling on in his words and said you are proceeding on arrogance. I mean, have you at any point in time come across that conversation?
I would not want to use word on Honorable CB Bashir, because if he said I'm proceeding on arrogance, shows no respect to your leader. I'm his leader now, and one thing I would like to clarify.
And he should realize that he's the leader. So
is that hooligan statement from Bashir, where he called me his small brother. I'm not his small brother. In all anger, I'm 100% off than he think he is. But I would not like to go to that main thing. I would like to look at the main thing. With the issue of Bashir as it relates to our district development fund, Bashir said that he only received $1,000. That's a blinking lie, right? And when they did their post on Fox FM, Fox TV, right? So when they did that, what I did was to put up one or two of what I have. I released only one, and I won them. I said, if you respect the ex-lawmaker, you have to be polite in addressing this issue. If you continue that, then I'll put a lot of information out. And so let me just ask you, you've been part of the Capitol building. You've been reporting from there. You have heard about the county development form of Montserrat County for the caucus. You heard about that. You heard about China Urine giving support. You heard about Western Cluster giving support. Where you think all of the money were going? What have been district number 3 portion? Other district received, they signed. And I got Bashir's signature, he signed. So why would he want to lie to the people?
How much did he sign for at the time?
So
because I saw the document of 500,000 allotted to Mosrado, and I think the 500,000
some go for county, some go for county lead, some go for road and bridges, some go for this, that, right? But holistically, money will receive in a huge amount.
Of which Basha says, it was $1,000 that he received.
$1,000 for county development, and you believe it?
That's what I'm asking.
No, but you for capital building. Go in, but you from capital building, you believe that $1,000. Like for me, anything for the county development fund should be given to the county, it should be given to the district from our end, should be given to the district. We have a town hall meeting, call our people, and they say what to do with the money. I'm not going to touch it, right? The people should have their money and make good use of it. Basha boast of road. Which other road? The road he graded from 2007. Can you imagine 2007, 2017? Yeah, 2017, right?
2017.
So during his campaign, I agree he did roll, but during the campaign time, so from 2017 up to 2022, what happened with the road? So you did just greater road. I did concrete road. So how can you compare yourself with me? He need to do more, right? And I want him now. If you want to come back, it's about time you work. Not just even Bashir, the rest of the other guy in the race, they need to come and work. Not just Honorable Moba working alone. Imagine the length of 3 months. We are getting public budget, not be having public budget to our exposure. Then we work. 3 months, we work, right? Even the work I did in 3 months, you cannot compare it to what Bashir did. So I don't want to drag into that thing. It seems to be, I don't want to drag into that. So I beg that we discuss something good. Not Bashir. Bashir is over.
Okay, so we move, folks, who have of us Representative Small more about our district number 3 and firing one indeed this morning. So we acknowledge again, we have been joined. So we have Injo TV is carrying the That's a very central conversation this morning we're going to look at. But so, like we were concluding with the situation involving CB Bashir and that of the district, he still believes, and I want to be very exact. I have followed him over a couple of months now since he left office. For him, he's convinced that there is no reason why the people of District Number 3 will have to, take him off the job, because what exactly he was doing, the current lawmaker, Honorable Small Morba, is not doing a bit of that, and that's according to his words. You want to talk about the building of roads, of which he posted off. I have witnessed that interview, and he was very specific, and he said it was laughable that $1,000 he received for the lawmaker to say that he, over the years, he's been receiving funding for the district. I know from the county development fund. So on those basis, he called on the lawmaker to focus on things that will benefit the district. But the interesting thing about this conversation is that for District Number 3 to progress, I mean, all of those, the players of the politics in District Number 3, we have to come together. We have to be one. That I know there will be disagreements, but you guys will have to support a united district. It is your supporters will see how the leaders will carry themselves and debate on it. And you, as a lawmaker, you have a greater responsibility now in uniting the district.
All right. I don't want to go again, as I said, to go on to dwell on the issue of CB Bashir. First of all, I will not be one lawmaker that will leave power and get down to the executive branch to work. No, I won't do that.
You will not do that.
Because I built myself before getting where I'm now. Because, so I can't do that. So Bashir needs to think about that a lot. But I would like to say to Bashir this one, that when it comes to District Number 3, there have been no project he have done more than what out just my three months, right? This past even the campaign, what I did, right? If you aware of the longest bridge, you're right. I also in Painesville, the longest pedestrian bridge in Painesville. I concrete that bridge. So when Bashir boasts of just two planks putting together to say he did bridge, it makes no sense. So I don't want to dwell on that. Bashir needs to think a lot, and I'm not even seeing close to the race 2029. He's off, right? We see other people that will come in the race, not Bashir.
Off.
Yeah, he's off, totally off. Yeah.
What exactly this issue? And most often when we have this conversation, I always ask this question. So is there a standing disagreement outside of the representative position between you and Bashir?
No,
most often
I would not say that, because I remember just when I completed the roundabout, Bashir was there giving a compliment to me. Yeah, he said he's a good leader. Even in the building, he was there quite really telling the people, say, indeed, Morba is a good leader. So why would Bashir be on air and try propaganda saying that he's better than me? But I don't want to go into that. I think he's just trying to prepare himself to look good for 2029. But he need more work to do. Or as a good leader, what you do is, one thing he need to do is to learn from us, right? Learn from our good work, right? Then prepare yourself and come back 2029. But if you are not willing to learn as a student, then definitely you will not be prepared for the leadership. Yeah.
So when you're in a position, you learn.
So what I'm doing now is a leadership seminar for Bashir. He need to form part of it. And
I'm asking him, when he was in a position, you learn from him also.
Learn what? Learn what?
What you are telling him to learn from him is what you learn from him, right?
No, nothing I learned from him. I learned. I would say in one way, I learned to build up. Right?
Okay.
He did plank bridge, and I did concrete bridge. So what he did, I capitalize on it and step ahead and just do what I could do. And today I'm there. So all he need to do is to also learn and prepare himself for 2020. Yeah.
Okay, so we leave District Number 3 now. We transitioned to the Capitol building, Buckeye. We're going to talk a lot about the earnings of lawmakers. I'm having.
Oh my God.
I'm having. Yeah, this is very important. I'm having a document in my possession. Yeah.
All right.
It says the Honorable House of Representatives, Capitol building, the House of Representatives member and staff salary and gasoline coupons. And I want to, Baka, you permit me to just go through this.
Okay.
It has the member which is the representative now. On this document, we refer to as a member. And the gross basic salary is $8,810. That's United States dollars now. With $2,225 gasoline coupon. I don't know whether this is in US or what, but if it is US, 2,000. Wow. So we have a chief of office staff, $695. We have resource officer, $605. Administrative, $569. Political officer, $462. District coordinator, $466. Special assistant, $513, and the list goes on and on up to I'm saying 15 persons is on this list. 15 persons is on this list. And so the total is $16,390 to each lawmaker office on the month. I'm saying for a month period. I mean, Honorable Small more about, do you have any idea about this?
Okay, let's discuss that. Since I came here, I'm not the speaker to discuss, or I'm not on ways and means to discuss our salary, even rules and order. But since you have come up with it, I need to clear the air. So I will serve in the capacity of 50-50 so that we can discuss that quickly. When you talk about lawmaker salary, you talk about chief of office staff, remember the position is an elected position. It's not an appointed position. So there is two things. And elected. So when we are elected by the people, we are seen as the first citizen, right? Because it is the first branch of government, the House. Let's get it straight. It's second branch is the executive, the third is judiciary. So that's governance. So here's the thing with the salary issue. People think that the salary is big, but I will tell you it's very little. Because then I used to hear like 15,000, the guys were making 15,000, this and that. Compared to the executive branch, right? The minister, cabinet minister, some agency may close up to 10 to 15,000 United States dollars. But let's just get into it. When you talk about gross salary, $8,810, it's not net. We talk about taxes, which is deductible, right? Then you make mention of 2,225 United States dollars as gas coupon. But mind you, gas coupon are sessionable benefit. It can come and it can come. Let's get it straight.
But it's supposed to be coming.
It should be coming.
It should be coming.
Because this is something that's been budgeted.
Yeah, but it depends. It depends. When government see it necessary, they give it. Up to now, we have no one has received. I think only for January, half month. So how will you get an elected official half month gas a coupon? That makes no sense. But we are there because we are working for the people of the Republic of Liberia. This what make the 55th different from others. Because I remember the 50th, when the 52nd, 53rd, oh no, they will receive it. But we did not push for it. So the net salary is this. For the United States dollars is 5,333. For the Liberian dollars portion is 255,000, which is 1,345, give you a total of 6,675 United States dollars. That's the net.
That's after the taxes have been removed.
Yeah. Then you go to the district. Let's look at the appropriation of it. You come down to the district. You have a district office that is not budgeted. That is not in the budget. But yet and still, you got staffers. I got 8 staffers in my office, district office. I need to pay them. So where you think the money coming from?
Aside from those, at Capital Building.
Yeah, at the Capital Building. At the Capital Building, they are our personal staffs. But then you got a district office where your people need to work from to relate to the people in the district. Then we also look at the issue of operational costs at the district office. Who is responsible for that? Is it government or us?
All of this.
So where you think it coming from? It comes from the salary. Right? Then you look in the district, emergency costs. There are people who will be sick. There are people who will need your help. They will come to the district office and they need something. So where you think it coming from? For not saying amount. Then you say the money big. Here's the guy from the executive who makes 7,800. I remember it was April 18, April 18, 2018. When President Weah took office. Right? They had the first cabinet meeting. The proper agenda, the message was to reduce the amount from 10 to 15,000 to drop to 7,800 United States dollars. So the minimum, the maximum a minister will make will be $7,800. Here's a guy who got no district office, right? From the executive branch, he got no district office. He got no personal interaction with the people. I told you once upon a time was here. If you take a minister, even if you take the minister of finance and you take Sumo today and we get on the street together, you will see the tension. The tension will not be on the minister. The tension will be on me, right? You nothing you say our lawmaker, they will not tell you say the finance minister. No, they won't tell you that.
Okay.
Because the lawmaker is the closer proximity than any other person in government. So we are there in the interest of the people, but with little amount. But yet and still, the car we receive is the car the people ride. The ministers, even director of various agency, the car that we ride, they are the same car the people ride. Appointed and elected. We need to understand it. That's the reason you find out that most ministers are disrespecting the lawmakers. Because they feed the position they're in, and remember, they take care of their own budget. Right? So if you are with health ministry get a budget. But the lawmaker in the district got no budget. But yet and still, we are there in the interest of government. So with the issue of the salary, I don't want to go into depth. If you want to balance it, call one minister, call one director to sit here. We sit together and discuss the issue.
I'm seeing the conversation different in Buakai. That part of the reason why a lesser attention has been given to this conversation on comparison of comparing the legislator's salary and that of those in executive. I mean, I'm reading through the composition like you place it. The last time I checked, for instance, directors are making $5,000-$6,000.
Yeah.
Then you have a lawmaker like you place it representing the people and have a day-to-day interaction with the people. And a lot of those interaction we have to end up with perhaps a compensation or cash. That's how the people expect of you. But it's because your lawmakers, the way you carry the office, the way you present it to the people, like that place is a lucrative job. That's how you guys made that place to be. So everyone is desirous of becoming a lawmaker, a representative or senator, because he or she thinks that that's the easier way to get wealth in this country. Unless now the way you send the conversation, even myself, I've lost interest.
Be lawmaker.
I've lost interest being
but
a
it
lawmaker.
depends now. It depends government after government. When government come, government go, the way government relate. That's another thing, right? The way the alien government did her relationship with the lawmaker is quite different from the way George Weah handled the lawmaker to that of Buakai, right? So maybe the lawmaker of the 55th, they had their own itinerary that they went through, right? And for the 55th, what I have seen there, right? And let me tell you this, even with the harmonization of the salary, you hear say, oh, they harmonized the lawmaker salary. That's not true. The salary was harmonized. That's why I dropped the salary where we have it today.
And there was one more. If all of this, if all of this has happened, I think then we saw in the draft national budget prior to the budget being passed, the lawmakers' salary, the apportionment to the lawmakers or the legislature was cut down immensely. We saw a very huge cut in that. Then one would say, you lawmakers, understanding all of the effect this has on you. I mean, perhaps you have raised no concern. We deal with the people. We have, an interaction with the people. So if there should be cut, it should affect the executive instead of the legislature. So
this one make the 55th different. I told you when I came here the last time, I said we are people of like mind of the 55th. I would think it's people driven. When you are people driven, you cannot go too high on issue, right? You have to accept. So when it came to the budget, even the scholarship that we have, it was taken from us. So how can we relate to our people in the district when it comes to scholarship? There's no scholarship. They took that amount from us, right? The deduction in the budget as it relates to allotment, there was so many things that were carried out. But we had to accept it because the thing about the lawmaker is that as soon as you talk, the people say, oh, you're making plenty of money. You're talking, because you want to eat money, right? So the way the people picture us, it makes it more difficult to even ask you for your benefit and whatsoever you need, right? So we just accept that and flow with it. Yeah, because we are working for the Liberian people, and I think the 55th interest is the Liberian people.
What could you propose if you were asked, now that you saw our conversation, you deal specifically with the people, and there are, so to speak, I can recall the last time I listened to similar conversation was by then former district 4 representative Rostalin Dennis at the time. I raised similar issue that lawmakers, it is with your salary that you use to settle almost everything within the district, which is an extreme challenge. You have families to cater to as well. You have other issues. A lot of people depend on you, but bulk of your salary will go towards the district. I can recall sometimes she made that. So if you were to propose, I mean, a reasonable salary that lawmakers will have that would represent or cover up a lot of things you do within the district? What could that be?
There are so many things that could be done. Like in Ghana and other countries, when you just all we need to do look at our neighboring country and see the threshold that you relate to our own activities here. But I would say this as it relates to the way people see things. I don't want to go to say I will come up with a figure so that tomorrow the public will hold me accountable for the figure I came up with. So I'm one person. My interest is the people. There's the reason I started doing my own business before coming here, and the business is doing quite well. So I think I'm there for the interest of the people. The salary is okay. We maintain the salary because what the people gave us. So we maintain the salary. Salary is okay. We maintain the salary.
That you skeptical about amount. That's why. Because
you should have salary okay.
Because for what you just explained,
something different.
I will conclude that that salary cannot settle for it. Unless you have an additional source of income to meet up with your office needs and everything. There's someone's asking what's the essence? Becoming a representative, because at the final analysis, you don't want to leave power and be that person that
so let me just tell you this to be quite frank with you today and to the listening audience there. We are just most people out there are just listening to the aftermath, listening to the talk, but they are not getting the real report as it relates to lawmaker. Have you really just sit and think that after when you have served your term, 6 years, what happened to the lawmaker? Most often you hear that lawmaker die. Have you really noticed that? People die for no reason. People die from heart attack because more people use their money. And in Liberia, after they have served their term, you notice that more lawmaker pull. They are down to earth. Nothing.
Is that a reason why when lawmakers leave the Capitol building, you go after executive job?
Yeah, because no money. You use all of the money you have, right? We got to be people out there. We got to give them the real story. What happened in there, right? Because when you leave the job, no money, and you got to look for whatsoever later. Like look at our own lawmaker, right? I would not take a job the one to give not too far from Willendale House. I don't want to call the job name, right? I can't take a job like that, right? Because of my credential. I have 2 masters. I cannot go and take, I call that a black plastic job just to carry something home to your children. I cannot take a job like that because I'm qualified, right? But because there is nothing wheresoever they place you, we need to get something.
We have heard over the times that part of the way lawmakers survive at the Capitol building is the issue about the clandestine deeds that
the kickbacks,
crossing the T's and and doubting the I's. That's how most often lawmakers survive at the Capitol building. Since you stayed there, have you
not all lawmakers want to cross the T. And so we got to understand that not all lawmakers want to cross the T. The 52nd cross the T, the 53rd, maybe they cross the T, the 54th, I don't know.
And the 55th is crossing the T. No. You have 4,500.
You have 4,500.
I'm saying 4,500. I'm saying gas coupon situation.
For who?
For who? From there.
The group. No, make it correct. The public is out there listening. JMAC and who? The rescue caucus. Yeah, that's right.
Were you part of it?
No, I'm not.
No, you're not part of it, but it is the 55th.
So it's just a minimum of that. What reason that we heard about 20K? I saw it.
You saw the 20K.
20K. I saw it. I saw the paper. I saw them signing.
You benefited?
The same group of people. No. Okay. I'm not part of that block.
Is that a reason why?
So until we understand that we have a one house, right, and we avoid giving money piecemeal to other people, Liberia will still move the way we're moving.
I'm understanding the conversation now, Buakai, that the law to present a little bit of salary, $6,000, $5,000 on the paper. With our understanding that to buy the public sympathy. Because not taking words. But then the T is being crossed, the R being dotted. It is from there that they reach, because mind you, a few days ago at the Capitol building, 4,500 when they crossed the bow. That was a conversation we heard in the pipeline. Till Honorable Yeke Koruba had to, whistle that out. A few days ago, again, you confirming that some $20,000 was perambulating the corridors of at the Capitol building.
Not for all lawmakers. just for few.
Then perhaps the few that left out are the ones that perhaps,
So they are the one crossing the I and T. Yeah.
Okay, guys, let's just transition the issue about the War Crimes Court. You have been one of the brain behind this establishment. Can we say you have already achieved what you wanted to achieve on the issue of the War Crimes Court, or you still pushing for more?
I would just say this. Was it yesterday we had the female playing the youth 17 on the 17 female?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Yeah, when you score a goal, you relax. So I've scored a goal and I need to relax and just leave it with the executive branch after they have passed the 131 executive order. So our thing is that you talk about relax. I think although I will relax, but then the 131 talk about a statute, which is the office establishing the office. So we just got to be on the front line and make sure that the executive establish the office, and when they do, then we kick off. And I have been threatened all the time by some ex warlord who have threatened me. But I will say this: thank God that my children will be out of this country. I will be here alone. I'm not afraid of threat.
Johnson,
this country is for us.
Is it Prince Johnson?
It could be Prince Johnson. It could be whosoever. I'm not afraid of threat.
It could be.
And
it could be misinterpreted now. That some folks will say you were not representing your children were living in Liberia. You don't represent your children out of the country. So
when I say my children out of the country, they are still here.
I mean, they're like you.
So for their safety, I'm thinking on that. But as it relates to me, I'm not afraid. I'm not leaving. I will be here. This is Liberia. This is our own country. I was born here. I'm not afraid of threat. So I will be here and engaged that the office of the War Crimes Court be established.
You could create the Ministry of Justice for your security,
your own protection,
and the security of your family as well.
We already informed NSA. We informed other other actors, and they are monitoring. But I feel that at a certain point in time, we reach to the stage where I gotta send it out because of their own safety.
They could provide security for you. I mean, especially because you. A very important figure with this conversation about War Crimes Court. And so if you allow me of your safety, it is with the responsibility of the government to provide security for you. I think it is earlier to do it and to allow things get out of it. Or the threat are not that huge. That's why you somehow overlook it.
Of course, but I think there are a lot of things being played, even as the issue of even the president. I think a guy went through the barrier of the security and hit the president. So I don't trust, as it relates to my kid. I love them so much. I won't trust anything now. But to send it out, maybe send it in Ghana or somewhere to be there until we go through the forceful accusation and debate concerning the issue of establishing the office of the War Crimes Court. Yeah.
Okay, it could be additional bread in the 6,000. I'm with already.
Okay, folks. So we'll open the phone lines on 077-866-5699, 077-866-5699, or 080-5614, 080-561644. Let's look at the President 100 days and a deliverable before we take calls. How do you make up for the 100 days? We are concluded already on this 100 days. What's your own take on that?
I think when I was listening to you on the radio this morning, and you guys were on the 100-day issue.
Yeah.
I think the first thing we need to understand here is this: when you make promise, it's something that the people hold you by your word. And we also need to understand that promises are done with policy. You cannot just leave policy out of what you plan to do. So I would not just hold the party government quite responsible for these 100 days because there are a lot of things that have been intertwining in between, interplay. As it relates even to the approval of the budget, right? That took almost a month and other thing. Then because that delayed the budget, and to have people to organize yourself and have people who are trained or who are expert to a specific field, that's another thing. So I think our Boca had a lot to do as it relates to putting people on board with the issue of appointment. And we need to give more time. The 100 days is not the main developmental plan of a country, right? And I think it's just a basic, it's just the stepping stone for a greater thing. So I think the Liberian people need to go give the Unity Party government a chance.
It sets the agenda for a successful government, though. So, I mean, from your honest analysis, were there strides the president made that you could predict that something good will come out?
I will give you a scenario in Ghana. I think you know about Jerry Rowland. When Jerry Rowland took over, he did a 100-day plan that was not that did not reach the benchmark. But yet and still, Jerry Rowland did extremely well as it relates to his over and over governance. So I would tell you that this is just the beginning. We shouldn't use 100-day to grade someone. It's almost like a student entering a school who failed the entrance, and we say, okay, let's give them probation. They enter in the school grades. So you need to give a chance to see whether they will be productive in the next year to come. Yeah.
Did President Bouakai did well in the first 100 days?
As it relates to President Bouakai, I would say as any other president, he did extremely well. As it relates to policy, as it relates to development, he failed the Liberian people as due to the promises. But policy-wise, he did extremely well, even with the issue of the World Crown Code, that of the asset recovery team and whatsoever, right? He did extremely well by instituting, but the implementation aspect is where I have a problem with. And mind you, the 100 that you may have people who claim to be experts that have been part of the team, right? You need to get more time to see whether sometimes they know from the group. So it will take time for the Unity Party government to adjust. So we should not just take the 100-day statement as something against them. I think they need more time. Yeah.
So it's also from 0 to 100. What could be a grade mark?
If I were grading just the Bouakai government, I would not pass them. I would give them 55 for the level of work now.
Okay, 55. 55%. Folks, we take on calls on 0778 665 0778 665 699. 08805616440 080561644. We have Honorable Sumo K. Moba, representative of District Number 3, Mosurado County. Let's take our first caller here. Good morning.
Good morning to the panelists. Good morning to our distinguished guest and one of the best lawmakers in the Republic of Liberia, personally. This is the voice of Samuel Sakara Johnson. I speak to you for District Number 3 this morning. And look, let me say this. And almost let me say good morning. And I got no regret for being one of your lead propagandists in the just and legislative and presidential elections. Look, this 55th legislature, Bouakai, have proven to be one of the best and the most accessible legislature ever in the political topology of our country. Look, when you have a legislative branch of government that comes with clear openness, that comes with open mind, that brings issues to the discourse and expatiate all these kind of fundamental political issues that affect the ordinary people of our country, we think there must be a product for that. And people say, the lawmakers are making plenty of money. No, but I've had the privilege over the years to work for at least 2 lawmakers in the Republic. Look, if you look at the situation for we lawmakers or no go and you're talking about 5,000, 6,000, I am living with the Saturday. Some mother is sitting in our studio, spend over 50 to 75,000 United States dollars every weekend. Just on the basis of humanitarian feeding. And today people come and say, the money too plenty. What's up for those ministers, directors, agencies, other people? And at the end of the day, they got no direct association with the ordinary people. They got just take their money and put it in their bank accounts and nobody asks them. Okay. But our lawmakers who are doing extremely well, and I can say to you, almost more, you are doing extremely well. And I think you have brought a huge summit to the legislature. And because of that, we can rest assure you that your re-election is a matter of mind and there is no competition in District Number 3. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. 077-8665-699. 077-8665-699. 080-561-644. Let's take this person. Good morning. Where are you from?
Thank you. I just want to be brief. This is Hussein Kew. I call you from District 2, Jacobstown. Let me commend your guests in studio, and I listen to the first caller. But at times, the both will say something we call complacency, and I hope it will not take over our guests there. Now, here is my questions and recommendations. Since I started following the National Legislature, I have not heard or seen about the National Legislature being abolished. of being elected. I want you to say on this public platform that you can present a communication to the speaker that this course or this honorable body should be elected. Because now you did the first branch of government. It's where the Liberian people representation is. So can we have the bravery? Can we have the openness, the transparency, as this president has seen on the matter of change, positive change, like he said in his erect agenda? Can you have the communication with the speaker? Say, Mr. Speaker, with all due respect, we want this house to be elected, board of political sentiment, board of political interference, and let it be transparently and accountable to the Liberian people. Do you have that intent? Thank you.
Thank you so much. 0770 is that 077-8665 699 077-8665 We're still taking your calls yet. Let's take somebody from this line. Good morning. Your name is joining us from.
Thank you. This is Joseph Walk calling from Nima United Man Bakery.
Go ahead, Joseph. You are live on the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Honorable Sumo. Thank you very much for your leadership. Thank you very, very much. God bless you. To the motorcycle issue, you are really say the best thing ever. You are always saying, God will bless you, leading our leadership. People say about experience. Really, we are not seeing leadership in today leadership. We are not seeing no leadership. People just discussing the country about experience. We are following the experience about nothing we are seeing, but we are not seeing nothing about no problem. Somehow we are suffering for it a lot, but we are not seeing anything about leadership. He took the fight 2-2 play politically. He mocked the motorcycle with him. No problem will surpass the children with any picture. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Politically, the Mayfield mocking the motorcyclists. Let's take some more calls. Let's take this person from this line here quickly. Good morning. Your name is joining us from.
Good morning, and good morning to Representative Sumbo Maba.
What is your name?
My name is Cedric YouTuber the second, and I joined you from District 3, specifically by the community.
Go ahead.
Okay, Representative Sumbo, let me say thumbs up to you. Initially, I don't even know you, don't know me personally, but instead, I listened to your communication this morning. I said, wow, there's a person that I found the pair, I'm not your follower. But sincerely, I think you spoke. I got to know you, and I want to appreciate you. I'm not coming here to to give you echo lie, but continue. I've listened to your time we all share and discuss, but everything that you have said reasonably, it makes sense. And I pray that God strengthen you and for you to live out the true development of the District Creed. Thank you very much. I'll not be on the radio this morning.
Thank you so much. Let's take another person from this line here quickly. Good morning. Your name is joining us from.
Yes, good morning. This is Darlington calling from
Okay, welcome, Darlington. Go ahead and make a point quickly, my brother.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to Honorable Sumo Molba. When the past time he take over, I see the development going on in the district. That's a sound that he's going to meet up with project. So, Honorable Sumo Molba, we appreciate you, District City. We will continue to give you as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. 077-8665-699 077-8665-699 or 080561644 080561644 are the lines that you can call and be live with us this morning on the Punch Breakfast Show. We have Honorable Sumo K. Moba of District Number 3, Moserado County. He's here sharing breakfast with us this morning, and it's air on OK TV, KM TV, Enjoy TV, and Punch TV, and also live here on Punch FM 106.7. Honorable, you listen to the callers before we take a few more calls. But they make up all the few calls and their points they just made.
All right. I just like to clarify the issue of what I spend in the district per week. I think when you listen to the quarter, you said 50 to 75,000 United States dollars. That's not true, right? Although just like he tried to push the number up. What we spend is close to like a week will be like 2,000 to 3,000 United States dollars, not 75. I hate to push figure up because I want to be known. No, I don't believe in that. As it relates to
2 to 3. 2,000 to 3,000.
Yeah, a week. Yeah,
a week.
Yeah,
times a month is about 8,000 plus.
So,
That was the salary.
like Saturday and Friday, when you get to my thing, it's really crowded up. I have to spend like 600, 700.
Will you continue on that photo?
Let me tell you something. You can understand. So long the business is going good, I have passion for people, and I love to give back to people, especially humanity. So we will giving back. But let me tell you this thing today, so you can get to know it. When you are in the seat as a representative, when you want to win for 2029, we have policy, we have development, and we have desire. There are three things combined together that you should use as your primary agenda to acquire what you want for 2029, the leadership. Because you can do all of the development, you can do all of the policy. When you cannot meet the desire of your people, the needs of your people, the wants of your people, you'll be wasting your own time. Because someone will tell you, say, look, I agree you build school. My son not going to school, but I need money to make business, right? I got no interest in your school, you build. So you have to meet up with that desire point. If you cannot do, then definitely you will not go back.
Did you enter politics to take away from your income, or perhaps add up to your income? Because a lot of time we see a lot of people enter politics to increase
to enrich themselves.
No, I don't want to use the word enrich, but perhaps to put food on the table. And so I'm thinking whether you enter politics to perhaps take away from your income, because if you're spending $2,000 per week times the 4 weeks, 8,000. So which means your salary, 2,000 addition will be added to your salary to meet the needs.
So
of the
I think my objective, objective is just simple. My objective is to make sure we give back to society, give back to our people, so that they can have a better life. So I've been giving to people. So in giving to people will not solve the issue. When you cannot tackle those public policy issues that will benefit majority. So if you give to few, you're not giving to majority. So to have an impact on majority, you have to enter the house and make sure you come up with a law, a bill that could be enacted into that everyone will benefit. So I enter the house because I want majority to benefit and not just few people.
Okay, let's take some more calls. Let's take Noah Zao Gibson. Noah, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. I called purposely to speak to Honorable Smo Moluba. The last time he was on ELBC, I wanted to have participated, but unfortunately, the calling segment ended, and he performed splendidly that day as he's doing right now. This is one man that I've never met before. I don't even know him. I don't think he even knows me. Perhaps he may have heard about me or met me in passing. But I think Honorable C.B. Bashir, my own partisan, in all fairness, has no moral to criticize Honorable Moluba. On grounds that had he done well, Honorable Moluba will not be elected. So for the fact that he was not re-elected, it shows that he fails. Just how he defeated Bill Twaway, who the people thought in their rightful mind that they didn't do well. And I just how the people also thought that he didn't do well. That's why they brought Honorable Moluba. And I can tell you, Honorable Moluba is performing for a very short time. I passed that route every day. If you went around the Niso and Puebla intersection there, that place, I don't know how you managed to design that place like that. That place is bright in the night. You go there, even though people see it as a cosmetic development. For me, I think it's not cosmetic. Look, gone are those days where we must just politicize everything. Honorable Bashir is my own partisan, but that put it true to where it belongs. I think the people of that district elected Honorable Moluba, and he's serving them well. And this man was established before coming to power. So it's not about anything like he coming or he want money. They man owns a school. You were employing people before, just as Bashir also owns a school. So I don't see why he must be criticized on the basis of he did, he died. The only area I little bit disagree with him is when it comes to the salary aspect. Look, even we the executive, we also feeding it from the hands of the citizens. Do you know how many requests some of us get here who are not even spent 2-3 months in government? So we're feeling the same thing, and we can't blame the people because the people, as long as they got unemployment rate, the people will look forward to government officials. So let them do well in the legislature and make sure that more concession come here to the executive and then to get the people basically in the private sector. Then the pressure will reduce on us as government officials. But I think agreeing 90% when it comes to the way he's serving people for now. I don't have to know him. That's just a fact.
All right. Thank you.
I've been asking this question. I know he won as independent candidate, but I want to know honestly which party he supported or which party he's thinking about aligning with, or whether he wants to remain as independent candidate for now.
All right. Thank you, Noah. Now take this other person here quickly. Good morning. Your name, where joining us from?
Good morning, Baga. Good morning. Thank you, Baga. I'm Lawrence Spencer in Johnson.
Welcome, Lawrence.
Thank you, Baga. You know, Norma, I want to use this medium to commend you. Like one of the fellows said, some of us will not be residing in your district, but what you do over there is really making us to envy your district. Realistically speaking, in terms of leadership, because you are a young man, you are a progressive young man, and I think you should continue on this path and not be complacent. Because we see about election, like you said, it's the impact no device. Just probably that some of our friends will get an opportunity to get in the tree and to say about our people. But as a young person, to see that you are so focused on investing on your people, I mean, it's something that the people of District 3 should put us together to trap you up. You listen to politicians that feel that the laws, I mean, Pastor, you are here to prove yourself, and you wasted the opportunities. You have a better chance to do what he can of District 3, okay? So, like the road development, all of that, I think you have to go back to postpone here all of places because some of us have relative to those places on a remover. I'm told you get some cement, but when not used for the internal purpose, you have to go there. I normally go to postpone here there I have my family. So, I mean, I don't want to comment.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for calling in. We are already out of time. We just have roughly about 3 more minutes to go. So we are not taking any honorable, you listen to all of the callers. A lot of commendation coming towards you and your workings in the district. Yeah, I think you are doing well for now because everybody commending you.
Zao gave 90%.
Easy man, Zao gave you 90%. I don't know how they made managing to know that the play can be light up.
Yeah, I really appreciate all of the comment from our people out there. But I would like to say this: I'm not a chameleon to change color. Yeah, I'm just small, and we'll remain like this, doing what we can until I will turn this over. But from Zawa, I would like to say this: he make mention of concession, and he also make mention of the executive, especially cabinet, so directors, going through the same scenario as the lawmaker. I don't know about Zawi era, but when you do it on a rated basis, you'll find that we go through more difficulty than the executive. That's my point. Another one would be he asked which party, if I'm from the All Liberian Party, he asked which party I would like to affiliate with. If I'm affiliating with any party, I would take the Liberian People Party, which is Liberia, right? I don't believe in party. That issue of party sentiment, I'm not part of it because I believe we have one country. What will split our country is the issue of political party. So I feel that we are all Liberians. We should work in the interest of our country. Yeah.
Okay. Finally, before we take leave of you, and a final message to your people in the district, so we can leave from here this morning.
District 3 people. I'm there every day, so there is no much message. Okay. All I can tell you is that we were assembled.
CB Basha is part of people at District 3.
Yeah, I would like to tell CB Basha good morning, and you should.
Yeah, we're hoping to have him here this week. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Baga, we have to go. It has been a very wonderful conversation.
So, folks, we will be back here tomorrow morning for a brand new edition of the Punch Breakfast Show. Harris Betty and Bwaka Amara Kamara join us tomorrow. Up until then, yeah, it's bye-bye from